It's time for high school football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. The best Stark County football is heard right here all season long. Whether you're in a car, at home, or on the go, the action is live on Q92 and streaming on the Q92 Facebook page, X, and our YouTube channel. Now, let's take you live to the stadium and our broadcast team for tonight's kickoff on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Here they go! Touchdown!
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football on Q92 Radiosports.com. I'm Ryan Keller. Alongside me, my broadcast partner, Antonio Hall. Thank you for joining us tonight as we get you ready for a Federal League matchup, a huge Federal League matchup between the 7-1, 3-1 in the Fed North Canton Hoover Vikings and the 6-2, 2-2 in the Fed Lake Blue Streaks. We are at Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown for tonight's matchup, and there's playoff implications on the line. There's Federal League championship implications on the line. A lot of storylines coming into that tonight's game, and we're in line for a doozy, Coach.
We're looking forward to this one, man. About 4 weeks ago, I circled this one saying this game is going to mean something, and it definitely is. So we're in for a good one tonight.
And both teams are currently sitting in playoff positions. Top 12 teams in their respective regions make the playoffs. Right now, Hoover is sitting at 6th in Division II, Region 7. Lake, coming off of 2 straight losses, they're currently 4th in Division II, Region 5. We got a bunch of other games going on in the area tonight as part of our Score 7. And, boy, there's some games all over the place. McKinley-Jackson, that is on our FM tonight. Our game of the week on Q92. And that game, big Federal League implications as well. If Jackson is able to get a win on McKinley tonight, that gives Hoover hope to share the Federal League championship. If McKinley wins tonight, that's it. McKinley
lock it up.
Will lock in and win the Federal League championship. On our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, Minerva at Alliance. We've got Carrollton at West Branch, Northwest at Fairless. That's a big game. Green at Perry, and Warren Harding at Maslin. All of these games, especially once you get into week 8, 9, 10, big playoff implications. We'll go through some of the standings as well, where some of these teams sit throughout the evening tonight. We'll talk about that. And, boy, it's crazy to think we're at week 9 already. Where is this season gone?
Impossible to come to that realization that we're already at the end of the regular season, man.
It's crazy.
Man, just last week we were opening it up on a Thursday night down at Fairless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in that blink of eye, and we're already in week 9.
And
but it's been a hell of a season.
It's been so much fun. And then coming up next week, we'll talk about this throughout the broadcast as well. The pregame show for the Maslin-McKinley game.
McKinley-Maslin.
Is it McKinley-Maslin?
It's McKinley-Maslin. Get it right.
Okay. So I always say it to whoever the home team is come second.
Okay.
So
no,
it's at McKinley this year. So I always said Maslin-McKinley. When it's at Maslin, I say McKinley-Maslin.
Well, I'm a Bulldog, so it's always McKinley-Maslin.
Okay. I got you. See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff. But we got a pregame show going on from Gridiron Gastro Pub next Saturday from 10 o'clock in the morning right up until kickoff at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We got a wonderful slate of guests. I'll give you a hint. I just talked to him the other day. Dominique Robinson from the Chicago Bears joined us. We'll get to play that and talk to him, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it.
High school game day.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Make your signs, come out, have a good time, food, restaurants, the whole thing, and it's gonna be really, really great.
Make it a party.
Yes, sir. We're gonna step away and take a break. When we come back, we're gonna jump in and check in with some of the other broadcast teams in the area who are covering the other games on our Score 7 and listen in to what they've got going on in their matchups this evening. All that and more as we count down to kickoff here between Hoover and Lake. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com. All right.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, The Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion, Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown as we get you ready for tonight's matchup between the Hoover Vikings and the Lake Blue Streaks. It is senior night here at at Lake High School, Blue Streak Stadium, and all the seniors lining up on the field pregame. Man, takes you back, makes you think of that senior day when you were a senior in high school. It's really cool. So cool to see all that. But we've got a bunch of games going on in the area, 7 of them. Part of our Score 7 on the Q92 Sports Network, and we're going to check in and listen in with some of the broadcast teams, what they have to say about their games here tonight. First, we're going to send it to Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, the Warren Harding Raiders and the Massillon Tigers. Here's Matt Corrali.
The Massillon Tigers are one of the most accomplished high school football programs in the country. They've won 25 Ohio State titles, with the most recent coming just 2 years ago, and have been recognized by the Associated Press as high school football national champs 9 times. And they've also won 8 or more games in a year since 2016. So this season has been considered as an up and down year in Tiger Town. With all games so far coming at home, they've had a 21-14 win over Ohio powerhouse St. Edward, but have also dropped an uncharacteristic 34-2 loss versus a team from Canada. All in all, it results to a 5-3 record through 8 games for the Tigers, but Massillon comes into tonight's annual home matchup with the Warren G. Harding Raiders, winners of 2 in a row, and things are looking up. Last week, Massillon took down the Cornerstone Christian Warriors out of San Antonio 45-20. A player to watch for tonight is running back Xavier Owens. If he rushes for 140 yards this evening, then he will eclipse 1,000 yards on the year. On the other sideline, the Raiders come in with a record of 3-4 and have dropped their last 2. Last Friday, they lost to Cardinal Mooney by the final of 7-3. With an injury to quarterback James Jones, Harding has become a run-heavy team, and a name that will be called into the microphone a ton tonight will be Mekhi Brogdon, as the Raiders running back has over 300 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. A week from tomorrow will be the Tigers matchup with McKinley. Can Massillon head coach Nate Moore get his team to 6-3 heading into Canton next Saturday? Or will the Road Raiders play spoiler? Find out at 7 o'clock as Robert Coleman and I will bring you all the action. From Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Matt Corrali, the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Matt. Now we're going to send it to Perry, the Green Bulldogs. Sue, if the Green Bulldogs can get hot, well, they have been getting hot, but if they're able to find a way to crawl back in and make it into the playoffs, that is a team I do not want to meet. They are finally getting their groove, and they could be a dangerous program if they get into the playoffs. They got work to do. They have to win out. They need some help. But if they can get past this Perry team tonight, that's a huge step for the Green Bulldogs. Let's check in with Jay Wilhelm at Perry. It's for the matchup between Green and Perry. Jay?
Good evening, everyone. It is week 9 of this Ohio high school football season on the Q92 Sports Network, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group. I'm Jay Wilhelm, and I'm live inside Wakefield Stadium in Perry Township as the Perry Panthers take on the Green Bulldogs in this Federal League showdown. The Bulldogs and Panthers have been headed in opposite directions the last few weeks. Green comes in with a record of 3-5, 2-3 in conference play. They have won back-to-back games for the first time this season, as they seem to have found themselves late in the season. Led by star quarterback Tyson Hunka, the Bulldogs had their breakout game in Week 7 by dominating Glen Oak 51-24. Then last week got their signature win of the season by defeating a very good Louisville team 27-14. Perry comes into tonight sitting at 4-4, 1-3 in conference play. After a blazing hot start to the season under first-year head coach Spencer Leno, the Panthers have come back down to earth, having lost their last 2 games, albeit to 2 of some of the toughest opponents on their entire schedule in Austintown Fitch and the Hoover Vikings, respectfully. They are led by an opportunistic defense and a hard-nosed rushing attack. They will look to get back into the win column tonight and finish the season strong. Join myself and my broadcast partner, Mike Voorhees, as we'll have the call live with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Bulldogs versus Panthers tonight live from Wakefield Stadium. I'm Jay Wilhelm with the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Jay. We're going to step away and take a break. We've got more previews to come. We've got Coach Antonio Hall speaking to both coaches of tonight's matchup, Coach Dan DeGeorge and Brian Baum from the respective schools. And we get ready for kickoff here at Blue Streak Stadium. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking to brighten someone's day? Look no further than Hartville Balloon Shop. We're locally owned right here in Hartville. Let us design custom displays for your birthdays to baby showers. And yes, to those high school seniors, even graduations. We've got balloons for every occasion. Delivery all across Stark County and beyond, bringing the celebration to your door. Visit HartvilleBalloonShop.com or call 330-705-6799 today. Hartville Balloon Shop, making your event stand out.
Missed the big game? Don't worry. Q92 has you covered. Check out our SoundCloud page where you can relive every exciting moment. From high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball to Mount Union football and basketball, we've got it all. That's every broadcast from this season and even classics going all the way back to 2016. Follow Q92 Radio on SoundCloud and never miss a play, a call, or the thrill of the game. Q92 Radio on SoundCloud, your home for every game, every season.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown as we get you ready for North Canton Hoover and the Lake Blue Streaks. Let's check in with some of our other broadcast teams. We're going to send it to Fairless. Mike Dixon is there. Northwest and Fairless, a big game right there. Let's check in with Mike Dixon.
It's hard to believe that it's week 9 already, and we're in for a Pac-7 battle between the visiting 5-2 Indians of Northwest and the 3-5 Falcons of Fairless. I'm Mike Dixon, joined by Ryan Rowland for Q92 Sports Network, presented by Sarshone Auto Group. Northwest comes into tonight's game 4-0 in the Pac-7, sitting 7th in Region 13. The Indians were able to grind out a 13-12 win and a Week 8 win over Tuslaw. The Indians' offense has been led all season long by QB Braden Venables, who has 834 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, but 7 INTs. He also has 285 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. His number one target And playmaker at receiver is Logan Allman with 365 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. But the guys that get the offense rolling are 4 young men that split time in the backfield. Joey Medor, 108 carries, 607 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Connor Stevenson, 43 carries, 260 yards, and 1 touchdown. Kellen Renford, 24 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Jacob Garber has 14 carries for 132 yards and 1 touchdown. The Fairless comes into tonight's matchup 0-4 in the Pac-7 and 3-5 on the season, getting wins over Sandy Valley, Waynedale, Tusky Valley. The Falcons are coming off a 31-14 loss in Week 8 against Canton South. Fairless offense has been led by a stout backfield with Trey McVicker with 59 carries, 344 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jack Kirby has 44 carries, 320 yards, and 3 touchdowns. QB Mikey Rittenbeck is also a playmaker with 208 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, but he can also throw the ball just as much as he does rush. He has 1,633 passing yards and 16 touchdowns, but also has 12 interceptions. Both teams are ready to kick off Week 9 here in this Pac-7 battle between Northwest and Fairless. Kickoff is 7 p.m. For Q92 Sports. I'm Mike Dixon.
Thanks, Mike. All right, we're going to check in with some other broadcast teams in the area. We're going to send it to West Branch. Carrollton comes into town, take on the West Branch Warriors. Let's check in with Christian Bigglesworth.
It's a late season EBC battle tonight here in Beloit as the 7-1 West Branch Warriors host the 3-5 Carrollton Warriors here on the Q92 Sports Network. Carrollton comes into tonight's game on a 2-game losing streak in the EBC after consecutive losses to Alliance and Salem. Their lone EBC victory was a win over Marlington. In Division III Region 11, Carrollton is currently sitting at the 14 spot. And of course, with changes in the playoffs this year, they've got to get up to the 12 spot to get in. Carrollton does not control its own destiny. They'll need to win out and get help if they'd like to get into the playoffs. And they'll be leaning heavily on their senior quarterback, the 6'4", 205-pound Hunter Allison, who's been one of the leaders throwing it and running the ball this season. Of course, the ground game's truly led by their junior running back, Levi Kiko, whose name you'll hear a lot tonight. As for the West Branch Warriors, they're in great shape right now. They've clinched a playoff spot and are currently at the 2 seed in Division IV Region 13. They also haven't lost since Week 1 at Canfield and are undefeated in EBC play, led by senior quarterback Grady Hurst, who's thrown for over 1,900 yards this season, 20 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. And senior wide receiver J.R. Thomas, who's collected 46 catches for 705 yards this season and 8 touchdowns. And you can hear all the action at 7 right here on the Q92 Sports Network. Carrollton and West Branch. For Q92 Sports, I'm Christian Bigglesworth.
Thanks, Christian. All right, we're going to send it to our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, Minerva and Alliance. Another big battle. We'll see what the Minerva Lions can pull out against the Aviators. Sam Berkwin has that call. Let's check in with Sam.
Tonight here at the University of Mount Union Caras Stadium, a battle between the 6-2 Alliance Aviators and the 5-3 Minerva Lions. Looking at the Eastern Buckeye Conference, Minerva comes in 1-2, while the Aviators are 2-1. The Lions actually looking to stop a 9-game losing streak against the Aviators tonight. And we'll see what happens when they kick this one off this evening at 7 o'clock on 1310 WDPN. The Minerva Lions, with that record of 5-3, even if they win out, probably not going to have enough points to make it to the postseason. Meanwhile, Alliance, with winning out here this year in 2025, should get them enough, might even get them a home game, possibly a first-round bye. The Aviators are getting it done on both sides of the ball, but you know we're going to talk about J.R. Jackson. He has been an absolute force this year, 1,974 yards, 19 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. He's run for 553, and he's scored 7 touchdowns on the ground. How about this Minerva team, though? Zach Slates comes in, takes over the program leads them to 5 wins. They're trying to pick up 6, possibly 7 before the year comes to an end. Should be a good one tonight here at Mount Union. Alliance and Minerva kick off tonight right here on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Berkman for 1310 WDPN and the Q92 Radio Sports Network.
Thanks, Sam. All right, our game of the week on Q92, big-time Federal League implications. Jackson and McKinley. Or is it Jackson and McKinley or McKinley and Jackson? Does it matter on this one?
It doesn't matter on this one. Okay.
All right.
For the McKinley-Massillon game, you must say McKinley-Massillon.
All right. Here, let's check in with Clint for the McKinley-Jackson game. Here's Clint Scruggs.
Canton McKinley looks for its 7th straight win as it visits Jackson. The Bulldogs clinched at least a share of their 4th straight Federal League crown last week with a 24-21 win over Lake. The win also clinched a playoff spot for the Pups, who are 3rd in Division I, Region 1. Kylan West had over 100 yards and a touchdown again last week and leads the league in rushing with 960 yards. Quarterback Trent Hayden has thrown at least one TD pass in each game. He threw for 191 yards and a score on 17 for 22 against Lake. Darius Hill caught 10 passes for 106 yards and a score. The McKinley defense continues to impress, holding opponents to just over 15 points per game. DB Lanaz Brown returned an interception for score against the Blue Streaks. Jackson held off a stubborn Glen Oak team last week, 21-10, for its 4th win in 5 games. Federal League's 2nd leading rusher, Corey Jacobs, ran for 154 yards and 2 TDs, while junior quarterback Carter Mulliman threw for 2 scores. Jacobs has 6 straight 100-yard games after being moved from wide receiver. Mulliman has filled in well for starter Lucas Eckerman, who could be back this week after missing 2 games with a concussion. Leading receiver Max Cowles has 26 catches for 439 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Polar Bears are giving up more than 25 points per game in league play and have given up more than 30 points 4 times on the season. They can keep themselves in contention for a share of the league title with a win. A Region 1 playoff spot was clinched last week. Jackson broke a 17-game losing streak to McKinley with a 20-7 win in Canton last season, but the Bulldogs got revenge with a 35-32 win at Jackson in playoff action. McKinley leads the all-time series 24-4. The Polar Bears are the hosts again this week. For the Q92 Sports Network, I'm Clint Scruggs.
Thank you, Clint. All right, let's talk a little bit about tonight's game here at Blue Streak Stadium. North Canton Hoover, 7-1 on the season, 3-1 in the Federal League. Going up against Lake, 6-2 on the season, 2-2 in the Federal League. Lake started off the season 6-0 and have suffered 2 straight losses. And there were rumors coming into tonight's game that Ty DeGeorge, starting quarterback for Lake, who broke his ankle in week 3, was going to come back today. I did see him on the sidelines in street clothes, so it doesn't look like that's happening tonight.
No, and talking to Coach DeGeorge before the game, they anticipate him to be clear next week, but Mom is going to be the ultimate decider on that. And so going to be a lot of conversations going on in the DeGeorge household this week.
Yeah, flyover, stadium, a helicopter flyover here. Yeah, I mean, if you're Lake too, you think about it, getting close to the playoffs. I'd rather have him at 100% for the playoffs than, potentially re-injuring it in week 9 or week 10, especially when, they should make the playoffs even if they lose the last 2 games of the season.
Right. And so when you weigh risk reward, you definitely want all your horses as healthy as possible and hitting on all cylinders moving into that week 11 spot. So better play it safe than sorry, not only for Tyler's sake, but for the team's sake as well.
Yeah. Hoover, John Collins, Jack Andes, the 2 main pieces of that Hoover team, the Hoover offense. Their only loss of the year came against McKinley, and Collins was hurt that game. Jack Andes got knocked out late in the second quarter. This Hoover team is really, really good. We talked earlier in the season about let's see what these teams do once they get into Federal League play. Hoover has shown that it's not a fluke. They're him.
Right.
And they're right up there with McKinley as the top team in the Federal League.
Yeah, like you said, those 2 injuries for Hoover was critical that game. Late in the fourth quarter, Hoover has a chance to go down, drive, and win the game. They have 2 wide open drops. So they're a couple plays away from being undefeated. So Hoover, if they're healthy they look really, really good as a top team here in Stark County.
Yeah, Jack Andes, the last two games, 13 catches, 256 yards, and 4 TDs. And that's despite missing the second half against McKinley 2 weeks ago. He also leads Stark County with 16 overall touchdowns. But even though DeGeorge has been out, Lake senior quarterback Alex Quire has thrown 13 TDs on the season. He has at least one in each game. They've got 3 receivers on the edges who can really do good things. They're strong up front. This is going to be a battle.
Yeah, Lake has always been a big physical team, especially up front. Pound you. They have really big bruising running backs, but this year's wide receivers, I think, will be the difference maker and why they've had so much success. They have guys on the edge that they can get the ball to in space, and those guys can create.
And Coach Antonio Hall had a chance to speak to both head coaches before tonight's game. Let's check in and hear what Coach Brian Baum of the Hoover Vikings had to say.
Antonio Hall on the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Here with Hoover head coach, Coach Brian Baum. Coach, you're in the midst of a great season despite some injuries to key players. What can you attribute your team's success to?
Our kids being resilient, guys stepping up when they need to. Some guys that stepped when playmakers went down like Collins or Andes, and other guys that stepped up, filled a role. And we may have done it a different way, but they're still filling roles out there. And we're just proud of the effort at all 3 levels.
Tonight, Ty DeGeorge may play. How do you prepare for a guy like that who can score in a multitude of ways at multiple positions?
It was good. We went against number 17 last week of Perry, who's, I don't say he's the same athlete, but, they threw in the ball, he ran the ball, he was a quarterback. So, you face multiple athletes like that, we're going to see something like that tonight. So that kind of helped us prepare.
Last question, Coach. What are your keys to victory on the road versus a very tough Lake team?
And as always, up front in the battle, both offense and defense, we got to win the line of scrimmage. And the most important thing, turnovers.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was head coach Brian Baum of the Hoover Vikings. Now let's check in and hear a conversation with Coach Dan DeGeorge of the Lake Blue Streaks.
Antonio Hall on the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Here with Lake head coach, Coach DeGeorge. Coach, started the season, went on the tear, ran off 6 in a row, then had 2 really tough, hard battles, ended up a little bit short. What's the message to your team coming into this week?
Yeah, we just have to respond. I told them all year that, once you start to get into Federal League play, man, everybody is well coached. They all got really good football players, and in my opinion, the best league in the state of Ohio. So it's a grind, man. We've been close the past couple weeks, but close doesn't cut it. So we got to respond. We got to play 4 quarters, protect the football, and hopefully come out with a win tonight versus a tough Hoover team.
Like you said, a tough Hoover team tonight. What are going to be your keys to victory to beat this talented Hoover team?
Yeah, we got to be really smart on special teams. They have some weapons, so we can't let them flip field position on us or score in the special teams game. We have to tackle exceptionally well, with the athletes that I mentioned. And then offensively, we got to go on some long drives, heat up the clock, win the battle up front to have a chance.
Coach, thank you for your time. Go get them tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for what you guys do.
It was Coach Dan DeGeorge of the Lake Blue Streaks talking about the 2 tough losses. They have been battles. I mean, all the losses on these teams have been close physical competitions. And, you and I have mentioned it during our broadcast, and Coach DeGeorge said it right there. The Federal League is the toughest league to play in the whole state of Ohio. And, I grew up in Trumbull County and come down here, and I'm like, yeah, it's Federal League football, man.
Yeah, week in and week out, you're going to face a great opponent, a well-coached opponent, communities that invest in their program. So Federal League team definitely up there amongst the best, if not the best. But Coach George said it best. Tonight's going to be about special teams and tackling. We saw special teams made a big, big difference in that McKinley win against Hoover a couple weeks ago. And we also saw that it was hard to tackle their guys in space, especially Andy's, probably the fastest guy in Stark County on the football field this year. So if they can get guys on the ground in space and win the special teams battle, Lake has a chance to come out here with a win.
Yeah, and you and I, we only had that first half to see Andy's. We didn't even get to see him participate in a whole game. So hopefully, everyone stays healthy here tonight, and we can see both teams at as full of strength as they can be coming into tonight's game. Go at it. Hoover won last year, week 9 again. That game was 18-17, and then in the first round of the playoffs, they met again, and Lake won that one 28-0 at home right here. Hoover leads the all-time series 21-7. Excuse me,
Wow.
21-17.
Okay, I'm about to say, wow, that's pretty one-sided.
I missed I heard the band playing and wanted to make sure it wasn't the national anthem because I didn't want to be sitting here talking over the national anthem.
Totally understand.
Is this their I think it's their alma mater.
Yes, it's their alma mater.
Okay. But yeah, both these teams, looking good for the playoffs. I do have these pulled up here. Let's see. Lake currently 4th. They control their own destiny right now. So if they're able to win out, they are in. The only team in this region that has clinched a playoff spot is Hoban, who sits at 6-1 as well. The scary thing is for them, for Lake, is there are a lot of teams 5-3, 6-3 that are behind them. So it's important that they at least win one of the last 2 games of the season for them. They've got Hoover tonight and then Green. And as I mentioned, Green is just starting to get hot. So these are going to be 2 really, really tough games to close out the season for the Lake Blue Streaks. Let's talk about the Hoover Vikings. They are in Division II, Region 7. And they are currently sitting at the 7th seed in that they control their own destiny as well. They've got Lake tonight and then Jackson next week. Again, 2 really tough games to close out the season. But, I mean, the only good thing about that is it does get you ready for postseason play.
It definitely does because you're already in a playoff atmosphere. You're trying to place a must-win football mindset because a lot is riding on these last 2 weeks, and so when you're approaching your last week or 2 of the season already in playoff mindset and playoff mode, hopefully that carries you on to week 11.
And you have to figure at least one win for both of these teams in the last 2 weeks is gonna keep them in a playoff spot. Looking at the numbers and how far teams are behind them, Hoover sitting at 15.5 points. The team sitting in 12th is Dublin Scioto. They have 10 points. So that's a huge climb for them to have to make. So if you're both these teams, obviously you want to win both of them, but you at least got to try to squeak one out.
Definitely. I know the mindset is we got to win both of them, but like you said, if they can break even and get at least one win, that's huge for playoff implications.
And it's crazy because when you look at the Federal League teams, some of these guys aren't getting in. They're right on the bubble. Perry, I don't know if Perry's going to make their way in. So, boy, these last 2 weeks are really, really, really big.
And I'm glad that that's the scope that we're getting back to with the playoffs because I wasn't a fan of, everybody gets a chance and you got teams who are only 1 or 2 wins playing a juggernaut and they get beat by 60. I mean, what is that doing for your program? What's that doing for your kids?
Yeah.
And so I know some people have different outlooks on it, but my take is playoffs mean something. It should mean something. You should have to earn your way into the playoff.
Yeah, because it takes away from how important the regular season is when it doesn't matter. Because if you've got guys who are like, I just want to make sure they're healthy for the playoffs. I know in Division I, Region 1, I think Glen Oak was a 16 seed with 1 win or no wins on the season playing St. Ed's, who was undefeated that year.
Exactly.
It's so difficult. So I'm glad they went back. I think 12, I'd like to 8, but I think 12 is a really good compromise.
Yep.
You give those top 4 teams, hey, you busted your butt throughout the season. You played well.
Team.
You earned to give your team a rest going into the playoffs.
Right.
And it prevents potential injuries for them, those top 4 teams playing against the bottom 4. And God, it would be so awful if you're in a game that means nothing and just casually gets hurt for no reason.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to send it down to the field as they play tonight's national anthem. All right, that's the Lake Blue Streaks Band with tonight's national anthem as we get you ready for action here between Hoover and Lake. Let's see. Lake won the coin toss, deferred to the second half. So Hoover is going to have the ball to start off this game. Hoover wearing the black pants with the orange and white stripes down the sides, the white jerseys with the black numbers, and the orange helmet. The Lake Blue Streaks wearing all blue tonight, the blue pants with the white stripe coming up the side from the knee, the blue jerseys with the white numbers outlined in red, and the blue helmets. I smell,
Yes.
smells like something's on fire.
Well, I think it was the pyrotechnics when they came out on the field.
I was like, do I smell toast? Am I all right? All right.
Concession stands on fire. Oh,
Tell you what, though, that popcorn smelled very good.
oh man, forget the popcorn. It smelled like Italian sausages when I was walking up the hallway. My stomach was growling as soon as I walked in the press box. Well, my friend, it shouldn't be an issue reading numbers tonight. So
No.
very, very legible numbers for both teams. So for your sake, we should be able to call a clean game.
I'll still mess up somewhere. I'll still mess up. All right, Hoover will be receiving. They are moving from right to left. Lake kicking off from left to right. The run-up and the kickoff. We are underway at Blue Streak Stadium. Kick taken at the 14-yard line across the 25, get to the 29-yard line, and is brought down. So Hoover will start off 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Not a very deep kick at all, but also great coverage by the Lake Blue Streaks. Hoover is able to get almost to the 30-yard line. That's really good starting field position for your first drive. Let's see what Hoover can do coming out the gate.
So Hoover comes out, sends 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Collins in the shotgun. He's trying to motion, trying to talk to one of his receivers. He takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's pressured, got to roll out to his right, looks, throws it across the middle of the field, and that is incomplete, intended for Andes.
Really great pressure by the right defensive end that time. Basic 3-step drop. Receiver wasn't open. Out a little while longer, but that left tackle got beat off the ball, and it looks like 94. He had really good pressure on the quarterback that first play.
So trips to the far right, twins to the short left, and a hard count's going to get Lake to jump off sides, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty, and will move Hoover.
Sorry, that was number 84, Angelo Wood, senior defensive end tight end with the pressure on that first play of the game.
So 2nd and 5 from the 34-yard line. Collins by himself in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the right, to the left.
Check with me.
He takes the snap. He's back to pass. Looks, throws it down the seam, and that's going to be just incomplete. Defending on the play was Callan Pierce, and it'll be a 3rd and 5 for Hoover.
That was a good time by the cornerback, staying on top of the route, which means you're going to keep the receiver in front of you and be able to read his break. He read his break perfectly, still stayed in front, was able to make a good play on the ball.
So big 3rd down to start this game. Hoover goes empty again, 3 receivers to the right, to the left. Andes is in the slot on the right. He's the inside trips receiver. Collins takes the snap. He looks for the bubble screen, not there. Now throws it to the tight end, coming across, and that's going to be incomplete. Defending on that play. They say it was Bayer.
Yep, so they said.
So it falls incomplete, and the punting unit's going to have to come out onto the field for Hoover.
Looks like the tight end could have made that play if he didn't short arm it. I mean, the ball's placed pretty well. It's just he had to go out there and snatch it, and wasn't able to do that. Now 3 and out for Hoover on their first offensive drive.
Snap back and the punt away. Not a great punt. Will hit at the 35 and then is fielded, gets to the 40-yard line. So Lake will have the ball 1st and 10. That was Quinn Snyder with the return for the Blue Streaks. And they'll start off 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
You saw Hoover do this a couple of weeks ago. Come out, throw it around a bunch in the first half. Really didn't. Only had 4 runs in the first half, but second half, once they started running the ball, they were able to get a lot more production from their offense. So let's see if Hoover comes out in that second drive and tries to at least get a couple runs going.
So they break the huddle and go 2 receivers to the right, single wide out left, wing to the right. They take the snap, hand it off up the middle, gets across the 43, 44, and finally falls down at the 46-yard line. Good carry to start things off for the Blue Streaks.
That's the staple of Lake's offense. They have their wing back, and they'll ISO him up inside on linebackers like an ISO play. He'll kick out defensive end and outside linebackers, but that wing back, that up back plays a major role in this Lake offense.
So they go 2 receivers to the right, single left, turn, fake the handoff, swing it out onto the right-hand side. That's caught across midfield, across the 45, down to the 42-yard line. That was a great reception from Zach Novak and picks up the first down for the Blue Streaks.
During the pregame, we said Lake does a really good job of getting the ball in space to their guys and letting them create. That was a perfect example of it right there. A little inside bubble screen. Novak is able to take it through the heart of the defense and able to pick up a big first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Man in motion now from right to left. That's Fuller. They turn and hand it off over the left-hand side, and Hoover's defense shuts that thing down quickly. That was a gain, a loss of 1 on the carry from Davis Matson.
Lake trying to run ISO. They lined up the wing back between the left guard and the left tackle. He tried to just run up on the front side linebacker, but Lake's defensive end and defensive tackle did a great job not allowing themselves to get pushed off the line of scrimmage, stalemate at the line, and mucked everything up.
So 2nd and 11 for the Blue Streaks. 2 receivers to the right, single wide out left. They turn, fake, throw it out to Fuller on the right. He catches it, gets to the 40-yard line. He'll only pick up 3 on that reception. Good pursuit from the second level of the Hoover defense.
It looked like it was a ISO read, so the quarterback could have given the ball on the ISO or thrown the bubble if he had numbers on the edge. The quarterback chose to throw it out on the edge, picked up a couple yards, but now on the 3rd and 7, let's see what Lake is able to do on this big 3rd down play.
Alex Quire, the quarterback for the Blue Streaks, filling in for the injured Ty DeGeorge, and has had a really nice season so far. As he sends his tailback Matson to his left. Fuller now in motion from right to left. They fake the Fuller, swing it out onto the right-hand side. That is caught, fighting for the first down, but I think he's just going to be short of the line to gain is Novak, and that'll be a 4th down for the Blue Streaks, but they're in that territory where you probably are going to go for it.
I would. Running another read play. That time they ran the jet read, so they're running a jet to the left side. Quarterback pulled it through the bubble back to the right. Was able to get a good 5.5, 6 yards on that play, coming up just short of the first. But Lake's going to go for it on this big first 4th down conversion try.
So 4th and 2, ball at the 34-yard line. They bring in the big package. Quire takes. He's going to keep it himself over the right-hand side. Picks up the first down. It gets down to the 25-yard line.
When you have 3 elite blockers like that, you better be able to get a couple yards. Yeah, both the up backs lined up on the same side, off the right side, and the running back was an extra fullback. So you insert 3 guys at the point of attack, and the quarterback got that with ease.
So sets up a 1st and 10 now. Ball at the 25-yard line. 8:13 left in the first quarter. No score here from Blue Streak Stadium. Lake leaving the big package in there. Straight quarterback run from Quire over the right-hand side. Gets across the 20-yard line and down to the 19. So they're having success with that big package. Hoover's defense just not able to answer right now.
Coach DeGeorge read my mind because I was thinking, if I got that much gain on 4th down, I'm going to run it again. And they ran it again. They got another almost 6 yards on that play.
I mean, it's one of those situations where you keep doing it until they stop it. I mean, you pick up 6 yards on that play, and I mean, if you can continue to do that, first, second down the field to score.
Now they run it the
same formation, different side. This time they hand it off over the right-hand side to Matson.
Hoover's saying that there was a fumble, and they have it. Let's see.
And there is a beanbag on the ground, and it is going to be Hoover football. Woo!
That's huge.
So they handed that one off to Zach Novak, the wide receiver, and he puts the football on the dirt inside the RG Drag red zone. The Hoover Vikings recover, and it's 1st and 10 Hoover.
See if you just stay what was working. Lake tried to run counter back to the right side. They pulled both the wings that was lined up on the left side back to the right. I looked like a clean handoff. He probably didn't have the ball secured, and Hoover comes up with the huge turnover as Lake was driving deep in Hoover's territory.
1st and 10, ball at the 17-yard line. See if Hoover can try to establish a little bit of a run game, and they do. They hand it off over the left-hand side, across the 20, down to the 25-yard line. A good run from junior Ryan Crawford.
Hoover lines up and trips right, spreading the defense out. Defense thinking they're going to run past the ball again, but they give it off to the left side and got a big 6-yard gain on that first down. We're checking with me to the sideline. Line up and trips right.
3 receivers to the wide side, single wide out left. Collins takes, hands off again, little stutter step at the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up 2 yards on the carry. Again, Crawford with the carry for Hoover, and sets up 3rd and short for the Vikings.
Same exact play they ran on first down. They ran on second, got 2 yards. Now you're in a 3rd and 2.5. Hoover's checking to the sideline, going no huddle.
6:20 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 2 for the Hoover Vikings. They've got 2 backs in the backfield, one on each side of Collins. They turn, hand it off over to the left-hand side, picking up the first down across the 30, still on his feet down to the 34-yard line. That time they handed it off to Jack Andes and let the speedster get some space and pick up the first down for Hoover.
Lining up in split backs. The running back on the left kicked out the defensive end. They pulled the backside guard, so that was a variation of variation of power, and then executed very well. Was able to move the chains on the ground.
Hoover going hurry up now, sending 3 receivers to the right, single to the short left. Collins in the backfield with Crawford to his left. Play action, looking for the slant route. That's going to be incomplete, intended for Drake Cooper, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hoover Vikings.
Trying to keep them guessing, keep them honest on first down, throwing the ball. They just ran the ball 3 times in a row, was able to get a first down. But now you're in the 2nd and long, 2nd and 10 situation. Hoover has to do something to be able to close his distance here on the 2nd and long.
And they're lined up on the left hash, moving from right to left. They've got 2 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. 2 receivers to the short left. Collins in the backfield. And they take the snap. Back to passes. Collins throws a little hitch route over on the left sidelines. That is caught by Drake Cooper. And that's a great play on 2nd down to put them at 3rd and 3.
That was a great placement by the quarterback. Threw it to the receiver's backside shoulder, says he's coming back for it. He's the only guy that has opportunity to get the ball. Period on a good catch. Now it's 3rd and 3.
They go 1 back on each side of Collins in the backfield. That's Michael Lamline and Jack Andes. 2 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. 3rd and 3. They turn, hand it off to Andes. Andes trying to get to the right edge, and he's not going to get there. He will lose yardage and be forced out of bounds. He'll lose 4 on that play, and it sets up a 4th down now, and the punting unit back onto the field for Hoover.
That play took a long time to develop. It just seemed like it took forever to get to the edge. The lead back on the right, it was a split back. Like he didn't get a good enough block to seal the edge, and that play was like it was just doomed from the start.
Quinn Snyder back to return for the Blue Streaks, along with Chase Fuller. And a bad snap was able to be scooped up by Andes, who's the punter. He gets a great punt away, fielded at the 20-yard line, and brought down at the 23. That was Snyder with the return. Great job from Andes, scooping that up like a shortstop and getting a great punt off.
We could tell he's a baseball guy because he fielded that better than Omar Vizquel right there. I mean, that was a great job getting it off the hop, getting off the punt so that you're able to flip the field and have Lake's offense with their back not quite against their end zone, but they're around the are they on the 20?
I think they're at the 23-yard line.
So, yeah, good job flipping the field.
It's hard with the angles trying to pick up the exact yard line. Yeah.
Yep.
So Lake breaks the huddle, moving from left to right. They've got two receivers on the short side on the left. Now they move a man in motion. I believe that's Fuller, and we're going to have a false start on Lake. So that's not how you want to start off a drive. That's going to push them back 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line, or 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line.
Yeah, now you're 1st and long within your own 20. It's a little adversity to battle through, but it's part of the game.
Let's jump into the scoreboard real quick. McKinley 7, Jackson nothing. Massillon 14, Warren Harding nothing. West Branch 7, Carrollton nothing. No score here at Blue Streak Stadium. Back to pass, and then a straight quarterback run. He's going up the middle. That's Quire. Gets across the 20-yard line. It gets just to the 20-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and 13, 14.
Yep. Blake ran an exit motion with the running back out the backfield. Quarterback appeared like he was going to throw the bubble screen to him, but it was a design draw, so little hesitation, tucked it and run, but Hoover wasn't fooled by that at all. Now you're in a 2nd and long situation.
So they've got two receivers to the left, two to the right. Quire in the shotgun. Matson lines up to his left. They turn, hand it off to Matson. Up the middle. Gets to the 25, 26-yard line, and it'll set up a 3rd and long now for for Lake.
Good old-fashioned G play where you pull the backside guard only, and you have him lead up on the front side linebacker, so he fits in between the guard and tackle on the right side and was able to get a hat on the hat, get a nice chunk on that 2nd and long, and now you're in 3rd and management.
Lake breaks the huddle, sends 3 receivers to the right, single wide out left. Quire in the shotgun, Matson to his right. Back to passes Quire. He's looking to his right, swings it over into the flat. Almost intercepted. That ball kind of floated out of his hand. Chase Lukens was defending on that and was almost able to bring that down. Instead, it forces another punt for the Blue Streaks.
Quarterback tried to force that one. Very fortunate that there wasn't an interception, especially this close to Hoover's end zone. So got away with that one there, but now it's 4th and medium, and Lake has to punt again.
So they send the punting unit. Andy's back to return for Hoover along with Drake Cooper. Snap back and gets a good punt away. And that will bounce. Actually, not a great punt. When it finally came down, it looked like it came off the left side of his foot. And they're going to mark it out at the 42-yard line. So it has been a game of field position. Each team kind of inching a little closer, but only because of punts.
Right. And that was a great break for Hoover right there. You know, got that shank punt, and now they got great field position almost in midfield already. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
2:56 left in the first quarter. No score here from Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown.
Uh-oh. Got to call back to the huddle. Change the play.
So Hoover breaks the huddle, goes straight into formation. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the short right. Collins in the shotgun. And low snap. He's able to pick that up. Steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go. Kind of floats that one away. And, I don't know. That landed in between 5 different players, 3 of them from Hoover, 3 of them from Lake, 2 of them from Hoover. How that wasn't either caught or interception blows my mind.
Me neither, but it was really good protection. He had all day. He was moving around the pocket back there, couldn't find anything. Last second, he gets pressured and just throws it up there. Good thing that I wasn't intercepted.
So 2 receivers, single wide out to the short right side, trips to the left. Collins back to pass, swings it out to Andes in the flat. He catches it. Burst to speed, gets across midfield, and will be at the line to gain for the first down, and they give it to him. A 10-yard pickup from Jack Andes moves the chains for Hoover as they get across midfield and into Blue Streaks territory.
On that bubble, he was able to catch it as he's going towards the line of scrimmage, like going downhill, and he's impressive because you see that burst. As soon as he caught that ball, you saw him change gear right away.
Hoover lined up on the left hash. This time they turn, hand it off, bends it back to the left-hand side. That's Lamline with the carry, and he picks up a few. That's a nice run on first down to put them at 2nd and 5.
Hoover's having a lot of success when they do decide to run the ball. I mean, they're getting 4 and 5 a crack. Follows them, I would just stay with that until Wake is able to stop him.
And now they go with the split backs, one on each side of Collins in the backfield. Ball on the left hash, single wide out to the left, all by himself. That's Drake Cooper. 2 receivers to the wide side of the field on the right. Collins takes, hands it off to Andes. Andes trying to get to the right edge. Finally turns it up, gets across the 40, cuts it back to the sideline, across the 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds. I think that's what Andes tried to do earlier in the game and just couldn't get the edge. This time he does and picks up a big gain and takes Hoover all the way down to the Lake 22-yard line.
Andes made a great read that time. Frontside linebacker blitzed, blew the play up in the backfield, but he was able to bounce it, get around him, get to the edge on the right, make a big play out of what was going to be a big loss.
Ryan Crawford now in at tailback. They fake to him, throw it to Andes in the slot. He catches it, gets across the 15 down to the 11-yard line, and Hoover now inside the RG Drag red zone.
It was rolling last drive too, but turned it over. So let's see if they can capitalize on this great drive they have going on. How do you leave Andes that wide open in the slot? I mean, he was so wide open.
And you know, when we saw Hoover a couple weeks ago against McKinley, their offense didn't really get going until they started to be more balanced. Now you can see the run and the pass. It makes them very dangerous.
Very.
Collins hands it off to Andes. He'll get down to the 10-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1.
That was probably the worst run they've had so far tonight for Hoover. Great job by Lake's defense, being stout on that front side, not getting any push by that defensive line.
Collins in the shotgun. Ball at the 10-yard line on the right hash. 3 receivers to the wide side left, single wide out to the right. That's Crawford in at tailback. They turn, hand it off to Crawford. He bounces it back to the left side, gets down inside the 5-yard line to the floor. Crawford, they don't have his height and weight on here, but looking at him from the press box, he is a in stature short guy.
He's a spotty guy.
But man, he's very elusive. He's got that kind of shifty moves to him, and picks up a nice gain and gets him inside the 5.
And on that play, he pressed the line of scrimmage. I mean, he almost like he's going to cram it up in there, stuck the linebackers up, and he was able to bounce it outside at the last second because the linebackers were vacant. So great vision by that running back.
Hoover going with the stacked eye. Collins under center. They turn, hand it off to the back in the back, and he is not going to get it. And it'll be 4th down. He'll actually lose a yard. That was Chase Lukens with the carry. And now Hoover has a decision to make whether or not they're going to go for it. But the good thing is they have the break at the end of the half to decide as break at the end of the quarter as the first quarter comes to an end. No score here from Blue Streak Stadium. Second quarter action when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally women-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise credit cabin or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
He's head coach Brian Baum from the North Canton Hoover Vikings football team. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Blue Streak Stadium as we get ready for second quarter action. It's fourth down, and Hoover brings their offense back onto the field. Collins back to pass. He's got pressure. He's got to step up in the pocket. Now he's rolling out to his right, trying to get to the end zone, falls forward, and he is in for the score. What a run by John Collins to put the Hoover Vikings on the board first.
That was great individual effort by the quarterback there. Looks to his left, nothing's there. Look to his right, nothing there. He sees a little pocket to his right, open up and steps up, takes on the linebacker, lowers his shoulder, and finds pay dirt. Great job.
So we start the second quarter with a 6-yard touchdown run from John Collins. Now the extra point. We've seen how crucial extra points have been in these ball games. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. So with 11:52 remaining in the first half, the Hoover Vikings strike first, 7-0 Hoover. We're going to be right back. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
Looking to brighten someone's day? Look no further than Hartville Balloon Shop. We're locally owned right here in Hartville. Let us design custom displays for your birthdays to baby showers. And yes, to those high school seniors, even graduations. We've got balloons for every occasion. Delivery all across Stark County and beyond, bringing the celebration to your door. Visit HartvilleBalloonShop.com or call 330-705-6799 today. Hartville Balloon Shop, making your event stand out.
This is head coach Dan DeGeorge from the Lake Blue Streaks. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And back here at Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown, the Hoover Vikings, they strike first. It's 7-0, 11:52 left in the first half. Hoover on to kick off the run-up and the kick. And a nice high kick will be taken at the 10-yard line across the 15, 20, a little seam at the 25, and is able to get down to the 29-yard line. That was Fuller with the return and sets up good field position to start this drive off for Lake.
Yeah, start at the 30-yard line. That's real good field position. Now let's see what Lake's offense is going to come out and do. They had some stuff going last drive, but just came up a little bit short. So let's see if they can find pay dirt and then answer the bell.
So 1st and 10 for Lake they mark it at the 25, 6, 27-yard line. Fire in at shotgun. Sends a man in motion now from left to right. They turn, hand it off right up the middle, across the 30, 35, 40. Breaks the tackle across the 45, 50. Down to the 49-yard line. Another run from Davis Matson takes Lake across the 50-yard line. They're actually going to mark him right at midfield. So great run from Lake.
Great block by that wing back coming back across the formation and leading up on the far side linebacker. He didn't see what hit him. He hit him. The running back broke right off of his block and was able to crease right in the middle of that Hoover defense. Great job, great play, great way to start this drive.
So Quire in at shotgun. Matson behind him in the pistol. They send a man in motion now from right to left. They go back to the same play, opposite direction, and he gets down to the 45-yard line. Another good run from Matson on first down.
Told you at the beginning of the broadcast, that up back or fullback or wing back, however you want to classify him, H-back, that's a critical part of this Lakes offense. And usually if you follow him, he'll take you to where the ball is going.
So 10:51 left in the first half, 7-0 Hoover. Lake with the football and driving. That up back right behind the left guard. Fire in the shotgun. To his left is Matson. Turn. Play action now. Swing it out on the left side. Off the fingers of Chase Fuller, and that falls incomplete and sets up a 3rd and 5 for Lake.
Try to run a little stop route with your inside number 2 receiver, your slot. Couldn't connect, but the defender had a beat on him anyway. So if he catches that ball, I think, he gets blown up for either a short loss or a no gain at best.
So 3rd and 5, 10:34 left in the first half. Quire breaks the huddle. Sends 3 receivers to the wide side left. Lake moving from right to left across your radio dial. Single wide out to the right. They run a little quarterback option. Quire thought about pitching it and kept it himself, and Hoover's defense comes up with a huge stop.
Old school option play. Okay, I like it. A little speed option. Think the quarterback could have pitched it there. Might have got a little bit more than what he got if he had kept it. But either way, now you're on their 45 and you're punting it. You're going to have really good opportunity to flip the field, give Hoover a poor field position to start out their drive since you couldn't score if you're late.
So the punting unit on for the Blue Streaks. Back deep for Hoover is Brady Hassan, and that punt will bounce and roll into the end zone for a touchback. And Hoover will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Got some more scores coming in. Harry 7, Green nothing. 3-yard touchdown run by Connor Shepard. 8:42 left in the first half. And West Branch all over Carrollton, 20-0. Jeremiah Thomas with, I believe, his second touchdown run of the game. Grady Hurst had a 74-yard quarterback keeper for a score in that game as well.
West Branch can score in bunches, man.
Fairless 7, Northwest nothing. 86-yard touchdown pass in that one. Boy, some big plays coming in. McKinley 14, Jackson 0. Hoover with the football. They've got both backs in, one on each side of Collins. He play action, swings it over into the left flat, across the 20, still on his feet, and finally pushed out of bounds. That was Bryson Bayer with the reception, picking up 4 yards on the play.
There was a hammer on that one. Defender tried to come up and make a play. He lowered his shoulder and ran right over him.
Second and 6 for Hoover. 3 receivers to the right. Single wide out left. Turn, hand it off over the left-hand side across the 25 down to the 29-yard line.
Now you're in the 3rd and 1, so you can pretty much run anything here. That was a great run play off the left tackle of that one. Hoover comes out and split back again.
Collins checks with the sidelines. 2 receivers to the wide side right, single short left. Collins takes the snap, turn, hands it off up the middle, and I don't know if he got there. He did not. He's going to lose a yard on the carry, and a big 4th down decision for Hoover. Do you bring the punt unit on, or do you keep the offense out on the field?
I don't know. It's their own 30-yard line. It's going to take a lot of moxie to call that one.
What is it? Intertesticular fortitude.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So Hoover brings the punting unit out onto the field.
Also, Hoover, I might try a hard snap down or a hard count right here so you can get cheap one on Lake and move the change.
So Andy's back to punt for the Vikings. Takes the snap. Gets a high, short punt away. And there are players all over the place. Takes a bounce to the right and then starts to roll back. Will be down at the Lake 40-yard line, and that's where they'll take over 1st and 10.
Great field position again for Lake starting out. Seems like they're able to get a couple first downs and they kind of stall out. Let's see if they can put something together here and actually try to get some points on the board.
I mean, I'd go back to that big power offensive line and just kind of play smash mouth football.
That's
what they had the most success with when they got down inside the RG Drag red zone.
Yep.
They're going to spread it out, send 3 receivers to the wide side right, single short left. Wire in the shotgun. He's back to pass. He's looking. Here comes the pressure off the edge. He has nowhere to go and goes down at the 30. Great pressure coming off the edge from Hoover's, was that number 96? Ben Burrell, the senior, coming through and making a huge play and pushing Lake way back.
Great pressure by the whole defensive front that time for Hoover. I mean, really, any one of 3 guys could have made that play and got that sack. So that time, Lake tried to run a read play. The quarterback was indecisive whether he was going to throw it or run or give it, and the result was a huge loss.
2nd and 19. Quire takes quarterback draw right up the middle, gets into the second level. He'll pick up maybe 7 on the carry, but it sets up a 3rd and 12 now for the Blue Streaks.
One thing is for certain, Lake is not shy or afraid to run their quarterback.
So big 3rd down, 7 minutes left in the first half. Hoover leads 7-0. They send 3 receivers. Lake sends 3 receivers to the wide side right. Single wide out by himself on the numbers on the left. Quire in the shotgun. Matson to his right. He's back to pass. He steps up in the pocket, throws, and a diving catch, and they're going to rule it incomplete. Great effort from Fuller, just not able to bring that one in, and it sets up another 4th down for the Blue Streaks.
Just missed it. I mean, laid out, thought he got his hands under the ball, but the ball touched the turf, and now Lake has to punt it once again.
So on to punt for Lake. Lachlan Baker. And Andy's back for Hoover. Great snap. Good punt. Coming up and making the catch, the fair catch at the 25-yard line. That was Bryson Byer for Hoover, was the other man back deep.
I think he had some room there. I think he just misjudged how close the gunner was, because he had about 3 yards when he caught that ball.
I thought the same thing. But it sets up a 1st down for Hoover. They lead 7-0. They'll start this drive at the 25-yard line. Hoover breaks the huddle from the sidelines, and they're going to go with the 2 backs. Crawford and Andes, one on each side of John Collins in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the wide side left, single short right. And they hand it off to Andes over the left-hand side. Nowhere to go. Penalty marker comes in, and that's in the area of holding, and that's going to push Hoover back 10 more yards.
They tried to run outside the left tackle that time. Defensive end did a great job setting the edge, forcing everything back up inside, and was able to tackle him behind the line of scrimmage. But also we have to tackle on the penalty here too.
And kind of discussing whether or not they want to accept or decline. And I think Lake's going to decline this penalty. They do. So the play results in a loss of 3 on the carry from Andy. So Hoover decides to decline the penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 13 now, 6:28 left in the first half. Andy's in the shotgun, empty, by himself. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. Little wide receiver bubble screen on the left side. Caught across the 25 and all the way down to the 29-yard line. And another 3rd and long. We've seen a lot of 3rd and longs in this game so far. This time 3rd and 7 for Hoover. They're going to go hurry up. Send 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Collins empty by himself. He checks with the sidelines. 5:48 left in the half. Collins takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's looking. Good protection. Now he's rolling out to the right. He's just going to lob this one down, and it's picked off. Picked off at the 40-yard line. Across the 40, 35, 30. Flag comes in late. That was intercepted by Brady Sommers.
Collins had a guy open, but I don't know if the ball sailed on him or what, but he threw it right into the hands of the defender. But about 4 yards away, there was a receiver sitting right in the pocket that had a lot of room around him.
And I think that return is going to be negated. It's either a hold or a block in the back from Lake. Let's see what the official has to say. Oh, no. That's an eligible man downfield on Hoover. They're going to decline that penalty. Oh, and then there is a hold against Lake. So Lake declines the penalty, and they will keep the football. After the interception, it'll be 1st and 10 at the Hoover 45-yard line.
Big play by Lake's defense right there. Now Lake starting on the 45-yard line of Hoover. Let's see what they can do on this drive.
So Quire in the shotgun, Matson to his right. They send Fuller in motion from left to right, and a false start on Lake. And that'll put them back to midfield now with 5:26 remaining in the first half.
Decent amount of penalties so far in this game on both sides.
So 1st and 15 from the 50-yard line. Hoover leads 7-0. 5:26 left in the quarter. Hoover with the ball, Lake with the ball on the left hash. And they go with the tight end wing on the left. And they turn, fake the handoff, throw it out in the flat. Fuller's open by himself. He gets across the 40 all the way down to the 26-yard line. Great design play there, faking the run and getting Fuller in open space.
And great block by Novak that time on the far right side. Able to get that little stock block and spring that bubble for a big gain, almost getting the first. Now it's 4th and second down and short. And now you can anything you want in your playbook. Me, I'm going to run the play action and go up top.
I'm right there with you. I am right there with you.
Let's try to steal one right here.
4:50 left in the half. Lake sends 2 receivers to the wide side left, single to the short right. Matson to the left of Quire. They're going to hand it off to Quire over the right-hand side, and it looks like he will have enough to pick up the first down. That was Matson with the carry.
That time running over your right side of the line, right behind your right guard, and was able to get just enough for the first. But you move the change and keep the drive alive. You continue to put pressure on that Hoover defense.
4:37 left in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Quire in the shotgun, Matson to his left. He's back to pass. Swings it out into the flat to Matson in the backfield. He catches across the 35, breaks the tackle, across the 30, 20, 10, touchdown.
Great individual effort right there. He put his head down. He was not going to be denied. He broke 2 arm tackles, then he outran the 3rd defender. Great hard run right there, finding pay dirt, getting Lake on the board for the first time tonight.
We are an extra point away from being all tied up. That is J.P. Moorhead on to attempt the extra point. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 4:16 remaining in the first half. We are all tied up at 7. We will be right back. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. On completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important benefits that we can offer at Friends and Family Credit Union. Welcome to Family Secure Checking. It offers unrivaled security to protect your everyday finances and purchases, as well as comprehensive identity theft protection and reimbursement coverage, credit file monitoring, benefits for travel, shopping rewards, and cell phone protection that includes repair or replacement for up to 4 phones on your cell phone plan. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is head coach Dan DeGeorge from the Lake Blue Streaks. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And back at Blue Streak Stadium in Uniontown, we are all tied up at 7. 4:16 left in the first quarter. I believe there was a penalty at the end of that extra point. Because they kicked off from the 45-yard line. So I think there was an unsportsmanlike at the end of that. And that kick will just sail out of the back of the end zone, and Hoover will take over 1st and 10 from the 20.
Great job by Lake making Hoover pay for that interception on the last drive, turning it into points. So let's see how Hoover going to respond here with about a little over 4 minutes left in the first half.
You know, we both coaches before the game talked about how important tackling was, and on both scores, the defensives really struggled in that area. A lot of missed tackles on both scoring plays for each team.
That's a great point.
So 1st and 10 for Hoover. Ryan Crawford lines up to the right of John Collins in the backfield. 2 to the right, 2 receivers to the left. They look, throw, and that pass is picked off at the 40-yard line over the hands of the receiver and returned down to the 25. That was Callan Pierce with the pick. And Lake has another chance to strike before half, and Lake will get the ball to start the second half.
Collins a little off the mark, a little too tall for his wide receiver, went off his fingertips. The cornerback made a great play on the ball, great concentration, able to come down with it, and now great scoring position for Lake's offense again for the second drive in a row.
They will start this drive at the 24-yard line with 4:07 left in the half.
Venom has shifted.
Matson to the right of Quire in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the wide side right. Single short left. Back to pass. No. Quarterback draw. Quire keeps it himself and will fall forward to pick up maybe 2 yards and make it 2nd and 8.
Again, Lake spreading them out, trying to get that safety out of the box and trying to fit a hat on a hat in the run game. But good job by Hoover's defensive line, not getting up the field on that pass rush when they read pass and just staying home, and quarterback wasn't able to find an open hole to run through.
2nd and 9. They gave him 1 yard on that carry. Quire in the shotgun. Now Fuller goes in motion from left to right. They fake the Fuller, set up a wide receiver screen, and that is caught at the 20 and falls forward to the 12-yard line. That was a reception from Snyder. And Lake now inside the RG Drag red zone with a 3rd and 4 with 3:10 left in the half.
Lake coming back with that bubble read where you're able to either give the ball on the jet sweep or throw it out to the bubble. Every time he threw out to the bubble. But now Lake has brought in the big dogs, the horses, the rhino package. You bring on all your big guys. You know what's about to happen. So Hoover's defensive line better knuckle up.
So Quire in the shotgun with Matson. They turn. No, they have Matson just take the straight snap up the middle. He's still fighting inside the 5, and he's going to lose the football. He loses the football, but they say he is down at the 3-yard line.
Huge break for Lake.
Wow.
Huge break.
But still, they pick up the first down.
I picked up about 14 yards on that play.
And I think they're going to leave that same offense in. I didn't realize when they switched to this that they pull Quire out of the ball game. So there's no quarterback in the game at all. Davis Matson is running the Wildcat with the heavy package. Lined up to his right is Zach Novak. Matson takes, goes over the right-hand side and into the end zone for the score.
Untouched. Great job. Lake's just getting in their big set. Darren Hoover to match him up front one-on-one. Hoover has not had an answer for that formation yet. And Lake continues to ground and pound to get big yardage out of that big rhino set.
How quickly this game changed in at like a minute and a half of game time.
That's why you got to love high school football, baby.
On the attempt, the extra point. That one is just through the uprights and good from J.P. Moorhead. And 2:08 remaining in the first half. Lake leads Hoover 14-7. We're going to step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back at Blue Streak Stadium. Lake now leads 14-7, 2:08 remaining in the first half. The run-up and the kickoff, a low kick, will be fielded at the 12-yard line, across the 20 now, across the 30, bending it out to the left. That's Andy's across the 40, 45, 50, 45, 35, 30, still on his feet. 10, 5, touchdown, Hoover. Talk about an answer. Jack Andes just goes 80 yards to the house.
Mama, there go that man. You saw why he's probably the fastest football player in Stark County. Not only did he get great job separating and get to the sideline, but he had two guys to beat, outran them both, and was able to find pay dirt.
Man, I thought the defender had an angle on him about the 35-yard line, and somehow he put it in another gear and just took off into the end zone. What a return from Andes.
Yeah, he did have an angle on him, but he outran the angle.
Man, this game has just been back and forth. The extra point almost blocked, but goes up and through the uprights. 1:55 left. That was I think he fielded that at around probably an 86-yard return. I think he scooped that up around the 14-yard line and to the house. Jack Andes, boy, oh boy, what a return.
And that's what Coach George said in the pregame. He said, we can't let special teams be a factor for Hoover. And it is. So Hoover is back in this game. Big kick return, one play, tied the ball game up before half. Let's see how Lake responds when the momentum shifted towards Hoover.
Boy, oh boy. Is there a play more exciting than a kickoff return for a touchdown?
No, there's not.
Coming up at halftime, we'll send it back to the studio, get some news from Q92 Newsroom, Jeff Mears, and then we'll bring it back here. We'll talk a little bit about playoff situations, where teams in the area sit halfway through week 9, and then get you ready for second half action. 1:55 remaining in the half. On to kick for Hoover.
I couldn't even finish my first post of Lake scoring and Hoover scores. I got a lot of catching up to do.
The run up and the kick. This kick taken at the 5-yard line by Fuller. He's across the 20, bends it out to the left, gets across the 25, finally brought down at the 27-yard line. So Lake will have first and 10 with 1:49 left in the half.
All right, let's see how Lake's going to respond. Again, I'm not coming out my Rhino package. I'm staying in that thing until Hoover stops me, because they haven't been able to do it yet tonight.
So they have Quire in the game at quarterback. Matson lined up to his right. Ball on the left hash. They've got 3 receivers to the wide side right, single short left. Takes. Hands off to Matson right up the middle. Nowhere to go. Tries to bounce it outside. Great individual effort to pick up 2 on the carry, and it sets up 2nd and 8.
The nose guard did a great job on that center, keeping him at the line of scrimmage. He was stout. Running back runs right at the center's back, has nowhere to go. Good job by that defensive front for Hoover.
So second, and they give him 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7. 1:25 left. Again, Lake will get the ball to start the second half. Matson to the right of Quire, 3 receivers to the right. They turn, hand it off to Matson right up the middle. He breaks the tackle across the 40, picking up the first down at the 41-yard line.
Great job cramming it up in there in the A gap. Got a hat on the hat, was able to get to the second level. Safety had to come up and make a play. Lake's got it rolling on the ground right now.
Both teams still have all 3 timeouts. Kind of felt like Lake was just ready to go into the half. But after that long run, you kind of feel more of a sense of urgency from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn, hand it off again. Matson this time hit right at the line of scrimmage. That was a great tackle by Jack Zarko.
Great tackle.
We do have a timeout on the field taken by Lake. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union.
I think it's an injury timeout.
Time to bring a friend into the family.
Oh, no.
That is Matson, who was kind of slow to get up. But he does get up and make his way to the sideline. Halftime, Perry 7, Green nothing. Also have another score, Massillon 21, Warren Harding 3. Fairless 7, Northwest nothing.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Me either.
What else do I got here? Alliance 21 to nothing. West Branch 27, Carrollton nothing. Alliance was playing Minerva. Beautiful night for football. And I was talking to Mike Popovich earlier, and I love stadiums where you have to walk down to get to your seats. That kind of like the big house. They kind of sit down a little bit.
Yeah.
And seeing everyone stand along the fence.
It's a great venue for football.
Man, it's a beautiful field here at Lake. And we're back to action. Choir is going to throw, and he throws this one, a deep out route that'll fall incomplete and set up third down. So now 48 seconds left. It's third down. You imagine Lake is going to run the football here and force Hoover to use the timeout and then punt it away.
Yep.
But that's still going to give Hoover, a good 38 seconds to try to do something.
But your quarterback is coming off of 2 interceptions too, so you might just want to get to the half, settle him down, and just catch your breath.
So 3rd and 9 for Lake. Fuller moves in motion from left to right. 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Choir's going to keep it himself. He's going to run over the left-hand side across the 40, and he runs out of bounds, taking a huge shot at the sidelines, coming up and laying the wood. That was Nathan Sikora. And not only the clock is still running, the clock should have stopped.
Yeah.
Because the player ran out of bounds. I mean, there was a lot of time that ran off that clock. So the officials are now discussing, but not only, you stop the clock by going out of bounds, and now Hoover still has 3 timeouts remaining.
Yep. Let's see if they put some time back on the clock here.
They should.
You think?
But both teams were kind of running back to the huddle, and the clock was still running. They're saying that play took 18 seconds, 17 seconds off the clock. Let's Coach Baum. Oh, there they go. They put 39 back on the clock.
8 seconds back on the clock. Okay.
So Lake on to punt. It's 4th and 5. Snap is back, and they get a low punt away that will bounce and go out of bounds around the 23-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it. And they spot it right at the 25. So Hoover will have 33 seconds left in the half.
It's been an action-packed first half, I'll tell you that.
Second quarter,
I know.
It's been the first quarter it felt like you were in a boxing match where each guy was trying to feel each other out a little bit.
Jab.
Second quarter, man, they started throwing haymakers.
That's it. Like Rocky and Apollo in there.
Do. So Hoover will break the huddle with 33 seconds left and all 3 timeouts. They're going to go empty. They send 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 receivers to the short right. Collins now brings Andes in motion, and they kind of pitch it to him. He's just trying to run around to the edge, and I imagine that's going to take us to the end of the half. I don't think either team is going to use a timeout here.
No, let this run out. $15.
Yeah,
both teams letting it run out.
Yep.
Man, what a first half.
And that's going to do it. That is halftime. They let the clock run out. We go into half all tied at 14. We're going to step away and take a break and then send it right back to the Q92 newsroom and get the news from Jeff Mears, and then we'll bring it back here and get you ready for second half action. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. with 6 locations. Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally women-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise credit cabin or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
From the newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears with this halftime edition of Q92 News. Union employees at Metallus are scheduled to vote on a tentative contract with the Canton-based steelmaker October 30th. United Steelworkers Local 1123 represents 1,200 employees at the company's Canton operations. The union and Metallus announced the tentative 4-year agreement earlier this month. Details were not released. The current contract was set to expire September 22nd, but was extended through October 15th as negotiations continued. A 4th man is charged in a home invasion. 43-year-old Ricky Lee Martin of Canton was arrested in Bainbridge Township and charged with complicity. An Amish man in Geauga County's Middlefield Township told police 3 men had entered his home, robbed him, assaulted him and his 8-year-old son with a stun gun, and took the boy hostage. The child was able to escape. 44-year-old William Hatfield of Maslin and 36-year-old Randall Cromer of Doylestown were apprehended on kidnapping charges at a Canton home Wednesday. 33-year-old Bradford Hosler was arrested in Canton Saturday. He is charged with kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and aggravated burglary. The repository reports the Stark County Board of Elections will tighten ballot proofing after erroneous absentee ballots were sent to 58 voters. Some voters not in the Maslin Public Library District were sent ballots containing a replacement library levy. They were informed their votes on the issue would not be counted. Some voters in the Canton Local School District received ballots for school board with no candidates listed. There are 3 candidates running for 3 seats. Affected voters will be sent new ballots. A Stark County grand jury has indicted a man on child sex charges. 24-year-old Joshua Barnes of Jackson Township is charged with 2 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. The indictment was issued in May, and he was arrested Wednesday. Barnes was arraigned today in common pleas court. He posted bond and was released from the county jail. Barnes allegedly took part in sexual conduct with a girl who was at least 13 years old, but under the age of 16. The activity occurred between October 2023 and April 2024. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for October 27th. Robertson Heating Supply has begun expansion of its distribution center in Alliance. A groundbreaking ceremony recently took place for the 93,000 square foot addition. It will be located at Robertson's headquarters on West Main Street. The new facility will serve as a warehouse and storage space and have 24 additional loading docks. Completion is expected by December 2026. The financial operations and procedures of Perry Township's fiscal office are the subject of an independent review. Trustees agreed to pay attorney Julie Jack Meades to conduct the investigation. The cost will be $10,000. According to the repository, fiscal officer Craig Chesler believes the probe is retaliation for his criticism of the board. In April, trustees gave pay raises to road department employees and issued health savings account cards to township workers. Chesler has served as fiscal officer for 6 years and says he's had clean audits and balanced budgets. Trustees did not cite specifics related to any wrongdoing or mismanagement by the fiscal office or Chesler. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
An East Liverpool man who allegedly used knives to attack a man in the city August 23rd has appeared in court. 27-year-old Grant Goodballet was in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court Tuesday for arraignment. He was indicted on charges of felonious assault, intimidation, and domestic violence for 3 separate incidents. Goodballet is accused of swinging knives at a man on Bank Street. The victim suffered multiple cuts. Goodballet also allegedly called a woman September 21st and told her he would kill the assault victim and his children if he didn't drop charges. Goodballet is accused of pulling a woman's hair while she was driving and throwing a lit cigarette at her in East Liverpool July 21st. A preliminary hearing is set for October 23rd. The Highway Patrol continues to investigate a Thursday crash in Canfield Township that took the life of one of their troopers. Around noon, 40-year-old Nicholas Caton responded to Route 11 to assist a disabled semi in the northbound lanes. The truck's driver had struck an object in the road. Caton was in his cruiser with his emergency lights on when another semi rear-ended his vehicle. The collision sent the cruiser into the disabled truck, hitting the driver. Caton died at the scene. The disabled truck's driver, 65-year-old Nelson Vasquez of Florida, was flown to a local hospital. His condition was not available. The other driver, 35-year-old Ryan Rock of Canfield, was not injured. A Mahoning County Common Pleas Court jury has found a woman guilty of unlawful restraint, child endangering, and domestic violence, but acquitted her of kidnapping. The verdicts were issued Thursday in the case of 51-year-old Stacy Gilmore of Youngstown. The charges were filed after she was arrested by Boardman police in 2023. Gilmore was accused of kidnapping a 5-year-old child. They were removed from her home by Children's Services after they discovered evidence of abuse. Sentencing is scheduled for December 2nd. It's off to jail for a Warren woman convicted in connection with a shooting. 33-year-old Lucretia Green was sentenced Tuesday by Trumbull County Common Pleas Judge Ronald Rice to 2 years behind bars. She pleaded guilty to 1 count of improper discharge of a firearm on or near a prohibited premises, which included a gun specification. The charge resulted from a March 29th incident at a bar on Elm Road Northeast in Howland Township. Green opened fire following an argument with 2 people in the parking lot. A vehicle was struck by bullets. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, but first a look at the forecast. For the overnight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly cloudy and cool, a low of 47. Mostly cloudy skies to start your Saturday, gradually becoming sunny with a high near 77. Saturday night, another chance for showers, mostly cloudy with a low dipping to 62. Sunday, showers and thunderstorms possible during the afternoon, a high of 71. Monday, mostly sunny with a chance of morning showers, a high of 60. For Q92 News, I'm Jeff Mears.
Missed the big game? Don't worry, Q92 has you covered. Check out our SoundCloud page where you can relive every exciting moment. From high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball to Mount Union football and basketball, we've got it all. That's every broadcast from this season and even classics going all the way back to 2016. Follow Q92 Radio on SoundCloud and never miss a play, a call, or the thrill of the game. Q92 Radio on SoundCloud, your home for every game, every season.
Looking to brighten someone's day? Look no further than Hartville Balloon Shop. We're locally owned right here in Hartville. Let us design custom displays for your birthdays to baby showers. And yes, to those high school seniors, even graduations. We've got balloons for every occasion. Delivery all across Stark County and beyond, bringing the celebration to your door. Visit HartvilleBalloonShop.com or call 330-705-6799 today. Hartville Balloon Shop, making your event stand out.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WTPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WTPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WTPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Blue Streak Stadium. It's halftime here between the Lake Blue Streaks and the Hoover Vikings, all tied up at 14. How did we get here, you ask? Well, I can tell you. So Hoover struck first. We'll get to some highlights here. The Hoover Vikings, they were first to get on the board tonight. And here's that call. He's got pressure. He's got to step up in the pocket. Now he's rolling out to his right, trying to get to the end zone. Pulls forward, and he is in for the score. So that was the first touchdown of the evening. And then Lake replied not too long after. Swings it out into the flat to Matson in the backfield. He catches across the 35, breaks a tackle across the 30, 10, touchdown. And must have peeked out my microphone there for a little bit.
The decibels, baby. You.
After another interception, Lake scores again to take their first lead of the game. Matson takes, goes over the right-hand side and into the end zone for the score. Excuse me. Then Hoover immediately replied, John Andes with the return. Will be fielded at the 12-yard line, across the 20 now, across the 30, bending it out to the left. That's Andes across the 40, 45, 50, 45, 35, 30, still on his feet. 10, 5, touchdown over. Talk about an answer. Jack Andes just goes 80 yards to the house. 88 yards to the house. That kick was fielded, at the 12-yard line. And that's how we got 14-14 here tonight.
On that play, you saw Andes outrun the pursuit angles and pull away from anybody who thought they had a chance to get him, because that boy got wheels. You good?
I think so.
All right.
You ever take a drink of water and then just goes down like,
right. Yeah,
and then like took the breath out of me. Jeez. All right.
Doesn't have to do mouth to mouth, man.
All right, let's jump in and look at some of the scores going on in the area. A lot of the games have made it to halftime. Alliance 28, Minerva nothing at halftime. Boy, you kind of thought St. Tom's at one point throughout the season would maybe get a win or get close to a win.
What's it right now?
33-0 at halftime against Mogador.
Mogador is tough too.
Yeah. Fairless 7, Northwest nothing. Harry 7, Green nothing. Garaway. Is it Garaway or Garaway? Garaway 49, Sandy Valley 0. Maslin 28, Warren Harding 3. Glen Oak 9, Mansfield 6.
What?
Time.
The fighting Garcias.
Triway 7, Central Catholic 0. East Canton 14, Buckeye Trail 6.
Okay.
Canton South 21, Tuslaw 7. And I think Tuslaw really needed a win for their playoff hopes, because I think if they lose tonight, that's going to pretty much knock them out of the playoffs.
That's it for them.
McKinley 21, Jackson 3.
Yep. Up's going to be that outright champs this year.
Salem 27, Marlington 6. And this is a big test for the Louisville Leopards tonight, going against LaSalle. And it's 14-10 LaSalle.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a big test for Louisville. I was talking to someone earlier today about the Leopards and how they finally have consistency at the head coach position.
I love Coach Kappas and what he's doing, man.
and they've really seemed to turn that program around. Losing their tailback, I think, really hurt them.
Definitely.
The offense kind of rolled through him, and when he went down, I think that they really, really started to suffer.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at some of the playoff rankings right now. So McKinley has clinched a home game in the first round of the playoffs.
Yep.
And they have a chance for that first round bye. The win tonight, if they continue down that path, was it 21-3?
21-3.
Should keep them in that top 4 spot without the result of the Week 10 game. It should not matter for playoffs.
Right.
The McKinley-Massillon game next Saturday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jackson currently sits at the 6th seed in Division I, Region 1, and they've got the game tonight and next week against this Hoover team. So that is going to be a big test for them to see if they can hold on and keep that playoff spot. They're currently sitting 6th. They should be okay because Division I, Region 1 only has 18 teams in it, and a lot of the teams on the bottom, like right now, the 12th seed is 1-7 in Division I, Region 1. So Jackson should be good. McKinley's definitely good. It actually says Jackson has clinched the playoff spot. So no matter what happens, Jackson is in, and McKinley is in Division I, Region 1. Glen Oak, they would need two wins and some help in order to sneak into that 12th spot.
Yep.
So, but hey, crazier things have happened.
Indeed.
So the Division 5 region, or Division 2 Region 5, this is where Lake is. They control their own destiny. They have not clinched the spot yet. So they need, I believe, at least one win in the next couple games, these last 2 games, in order to stay in a playoff position. Let's go to Division 2 Region 7. A lot of teams in that one from the area. Massillon currently at that 5 seed. They control their own destiny. Nothing is finalized in this region. Hoover currently sitting 7-1. They are the 7th seed in this division. Louisville, they are the 10th seed. So right now, we've got 3 teams in Division 2 Region 7 who are in the playoffs. Perry is currently sitting at that number 17 seed. They have not been mathematically eliminated, but they would need some help to jump from 17 into that top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head over to Division 3 Region 9. The Alliance Aviators sitting at the 8th seed. They have not clinched, and it doesn't say if they control their own destiny or not. They are winning very handily over Minerva, 28-0 at half. So looks like the Aviators should be okay for a playoff spot.
Okay.
And I believe that is it from the area, and that's one.
There's a lot of choreography in these bands tonight. It's almost like I'm watching the HBCU band. I mean, both bands are just all kinds of movements.
Let's jump into Division 3 Region 11. Carrollton, who is losing tonight, they are currently sitting at the 14 seed. So they are not eliminated, but they would need some wins and some help in order to sneak into that 12 spot. Let's check in Division 4 Region 13. West Branch has clinched the playoff spot and more than likely are going to have that home field advantage in that first round bye. They are the 2nd seed, and they are winning very handily here tonight as well. So the West Branch Warriors continuing to do great things over there. Canal Fulton Northwest, they control their own destiny. They currently at 5-2 in the 7th seed in Division 4 Region 13. Marlington is a 15 seed. They are very close to being mathematically eliminated. And I believe they are losing tonight. So a loss for Marlington is more than likely going to, they're losing 27-6. So Marlington more than likely going to be knocked out of playoff contention. Division 5, Region 17. Maslin Tuslaw currently one position outside of a playoff spot. They're currently sitting at the 13 seed, so they need a win tonight, but they were getting beat pretty handedly as well. They were losing 21-7 to Canton South. Manchester sits at the 7 seed. I believe that is it from Sandy Valley. They're the 26th. They have been mathematically eliminated. Let's see here. What else do we got for you? I think it's Division 5, Region 19. So hard to, you hate to click through all of them, but it's so hard to figure out. Let's see. Dalton controls their own destiny. Smithville controls. They have clinched the playoff spot. So the Smithies. I scored a touchdown against the Smithies.
You did?
Yeah, first round of the playoff.
Nice.
I recovered a fumble in the end zone.
Nice.
Offensive lineman.
I thought you were going to say they gave it to you off tackle, baby.
You know what's funny? My senior year, one of the later games in the season, they put me in at tailback and let me run 2 plays in a row.
I mean, you're a fullback by.
I was.
So,
Yeah.
Fullback, guard, whatever.
It's all the same.
All the same.
It's all the same. Our coaching staff was good friends with Rich Rodriguez when he was at West Virginia.
Okay.
And that's when we switched to the spread. We were power I, ground and pound, and then we switched over, and that eliminated the fullback position for me going into my sophomore year.
Man. With your hand in the dirt.
Hey, I loved it. I love playing offensive.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Let's see here. We got some other ones. Indian Valley has clinched a playoff spot. Indian Creek has clinched a playoff spot. Canton South is the 15 seed, and I believe they went in tonight. Yes, they were beating Tuslaw. So Canton South 15 seed that has the potential to jump up and get into a playoff spot. Minerva, I believe they are going to be mathematically eliminated after tonight.
Man,
yeah, that's too bad. But hey, I think you look at some of the coaches in the area and the things they've done, and I don't know. Is there a Coach of the Year award in the area?
There is for Stark County. For WHBC, they have the Stark County.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm sorry for that radio station in Canton that has 4 letters.
So you think about Coach of the Year. Coach Slate has to be in the talks for what he's done at Minerva down there.
He does. I mean, he's the guy to be in there. Renzi Parnell from McKinley, Coach Spider, Coach Baum. I mean, again, injuries happen almost every year to this. And I mean like catastrophic. Your main players go down and they just find ways to win. Yeah. So, I mean, I really think what's going to happen these last couple of weeks might indicate that. It might even come down to what happens in the playoffs. But Coach Kappas is another one that could be considered. So, I mean, just a lot of great coaching, a lot of great football this year, a lot of programs, taking a big step forward. So, yeah. Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about next week. I know it's only halftime, but some of the games coming up on Q92 Sports Network next week. Jackson at Hoover. That should be a really good game as well. It'll be on Q92. We have Alliance rivalry week. Alliance at Marlington will be on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, Tuslaw and Fairless. Lake at Green. Northwest at Akron, Manchester, and that game has storylines written all over it. The quarterback from Akron, Manchester went to Northwest last year.
Sure did.
And got benched.
Sure did.
Didn't like it. So he left and has been throwing up great numbers at Akron, Manchester. West Branch at Salem. Malvern at East Canton. And then on Saturday, 2 o'clock kickoff, McKinley-Maslin game. Just so you know, it's written on my schedule. Massillon at McKinley. I made sure to say the McKinley-Massillon game.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And starting at 10 o'clock, Sam Berkwin and myself are going to be kicking off the pregame show. We're going to be at the Gridiron Gastropub at the Hall of Fame Village. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some great guests lined up. A lot of guests showing up in person. We're going to have some interviews from some people who might not have been able to make it, who are out of town, maybe some NFL players,
some coaches.
Yeah, some former coaches. We've got administrators who are going to be joining us, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We encourage you to come down, hang out before the game, grab a bite to eat at the Gridiron Gastropub. There's going to be yard games out in front. We're going to have areas for you to make game day signs. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ryan's going to put on the mascot head for who he thinks is going to win the McKinley. He's going to get his best Lee Corso impersonation out there. Should be a lot of fun.
Take my shirt off like what Pat McAfee does now.
There you go. What's up with that, dude? I mean,
I'll be shirtless with the mascot head on. There
you go. It's a party.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're going to be streaming live on Q92, so you can listen 92.5. We're also going to be on the Q92 Facebook, the Q92 Twitter, X. We're going to be everywhere.
You name it,
so
we're there.
You're going to be able to catch it wherever you can catch our high school football games, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be cool.
Both teams are on the field. Hoover's lining up for the kick. We're about to get this second half underway.
So Lake had won the opening toss. They deferred to the second half, so they're going to have the ball to start the second half, and we are all tied up at 14. The run-up and the kick start the second half. Will be fielded at the 2-yard line. Cross the 15, 20. Little seam, cross the 25, still on his feet. Finally taken down at the 22-yard line, and that's where Lake will start off first and 10.
Pretty good return to start it out. Decent field position. Almost to the 30-yard line.
So Lake breaks the huddle, first and 10. Oh. I step on my headphone cord so many times.
Same.
So Choir takes, he's going to hand off right up the middle, and Hoover's defense says not going to happen. It gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be second and 10.
Blake trying to run their bread and butter play where they run the ISO to the weak side linebacker. It worked really good in that first half, but that time not so much. Hoover's defensive front did a great job being stout.
Second and 10 for the Blue Streaks. Alex Choir in at shotgun. Matt's into his right behind him in the pistol. 2 receivers to the left. Lake moving from left to right. They play action. Back to pass is Choir. He's looking. He throws it down the sidelines and overthrows the intended receiver intended for Zach Novak, who had a step, a little push-off assisted step, but a step.
But you see how Hoover's cornerback is playing off the wide receiver with his alignment, and really the 9 route has been there all night. I'm glad Lake was able to see it. They try to take advantage of it, but let's see if Hoover adjusts their alignment with the cornerback, because if they don't, that's going to be open here as the half moves on.
So the incompletion brings a 3rd and 10. Lake sends 3 receivers to the wide side left, single wide out to the right. Mattson to the left of Choir in the shotgun. He's back to pass. He's looking, throws off the hands of the intended receiver and will fall incomplete. That was he was looking for Chase Fuller, and a quick 3 and out for the Blue Streaks.
Good pressure by Hoover on that 3rd down, causing that high errant pass by the quarterback, throwing off his back foot, and it just sailed on them. So good job by Hoover coming out, stalemating them, and getting the 3 and out to start this half.
So Jack Andy's back deep to return along with Bryson Byer for Hoover. They stand at their own 35. Snap is back. Great, nice high kick taken at the 35. Fair catch called for by Byer, and Hoover's offense will see the field for the first time in the second half, starting at the 35.
Yep, let's see if Hoover comes out like they did in that second quarter and just get the thing going on the ground and really trying to pull those defensive backs up and then able to capitalize it through the air, especially when you got a guy like Andy's. But let's see what they do.
Just underway here in the third quarter, all tied up at 14. Hoover breaks the huddle on the sideline, sends 3 receivers to the wide side right. Ball on the left hash, Hoover moving from right to left. Collins in the shotgun. He takes, turns, hands it off to Crawford over to left-hand side. He'll pick up 2 before he's brought down.
I feel like there was something with that exchange right there. The running back just was slow getting to the hole. It looks like he was trying to tuck and secure that ball away. I don't know if the mesh was bad or what, but need to clean that up moving forward.
Crawford leaves the game, and they bring in another receiver. So I imagine Hoover's going to go empty here and send 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. They brought in Elijah Fryson. Collins back to pass. He looks, throws it underneath to Fryson. He catches it at the 40 and is able to get to the 44-yard line, and it will be 3rd and 1 for the Hoover Vikings on their opening drive of the second half.
The inside receiver ran a crossing route. He was wide open. Great recognition by the quarterback to hit him and almost got the first down.
So they bring in the 2 running backs with Michael Lamline and Jack Andes, 1 on each side of Collins. He takes, hands it off over the left-hand side to Lamline, and he doesn't get it. He is stopped short. He'll actually lose a yard, and it'll be 4th and 2 now for Hoover, and now they bring their punt unit onto the field.
Both defenses come out playing very staunch, very stingy to start this half, kind of like we started in the first half. So let's see what offense makes their adjustment to the defense and is able to move this ball.
Like the offenses are throwing jabs, but the defenses are throwing haymakers.
Defense out here throwing uppercuts.
Another really bad snap from Hoover. Andy's able to get it, but that's going to be a backward spiral kick that will bounce at the 31 and then bounce backwards 5 yards. And I believe Lake will have it 1st and 10.
Great field position starting the second drive in the second half.
So they're saying that one it went out of bounds on the far side of the field at the 33-yard line. So Lake will start their second drive, 1st and 10, 9-10 left in the third quarter. It's 14-14 between Lake and Hoover.
Beautiful night for a ball game.
It is. Lake sends 3 receivers to the wide side right, single to the short left. And straight quarterback run right up the middle by Quire. And they will give him 3 yards on the carry. And, I think Coach DeGeorge just got a penalty.
He was out to the numbers. We'll see if it's a sideline warning or if they actually give him a penalty.
He's made by number 7. Dan Ledwell, a penalty.
So the line judge on the sideline for Lake went out and talked to the official, and they're just going to give him a sideline warning.
Yep.
Sideline, everything has been assessed.
But I get it. You're protecting the health of your players. You thought it was a late hit, so you want to make sure the ref is watching it. So, if I'm going to be adamant about something, it's going to be about the health of my players.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 36-yard line. 3 receivers to the wide side right, single to the short left. Quire takes, fakes. He's looking to pass, nowhere to go with it. He's looking to run now, trying to get to the right edge, calling for blocks, and he's just going to run out of bounds. He will pick up 4 yards on the carry, and it'll set up a 3rd and 3 for Lake.
I don't know why he didn't throw the bubble right there. They had numbers. They had 2 for 1. The safety was rolled back to the middle of the field. So if he threw it out to the bubble, it would get 5 or 6 yards for the first guy even touches him.
Yeah, Chase Fuller was open, looking for the ball.
Wide open. Had a guy in front of him to block.
So a big 3rd down here early on in the third quarter. 3rd and 4, 3 receivers to the wide side left. Quire takes. He's looking to pass. Now he swings it out. It's caught at the 40. He cuts it across the midfield. Now bends it back. He gets around the edge across the 50.
40, 35, 30, 25, cuts it back to the middle, beats a tackle, 10, and is brought down at the 5-yard line. Zach Novak with a huge catch and run.
That kid is special, especially if you get him in space. Hoover brought a blitz from the left side of the field. That's where they ran that bubble screen. So they end up having numbers because they brought a blitz. So the middle of the field was vacant. That's where he saw it. He cut it up. Then he reversed all the way across the left side of the field. Once he got there, worked back to the middle. He probably ran about 70 yards on that play to get 40, but great individual effort by Novak.
I was just thinking that. So Lake with the ball, 1st and goal inside the RG Drag red zone. They bring in the heavy package. That's Matson taking the direct snap over the right-hand side. Cuts it back into the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run by Davis Matson. And Lake takes the lead with 7:39 left in the third quarter.
Matson tried to run it up inside off the right tackle. Everything was balled up, so he bounced it outside the tackle. He broke an arm tackle by, it looks like, the outside linebacker or safety, and was able to find pay dirt.
Now for the point after. Snap back. It was a bad snap. He's got to pick it up and run with it. Justin Landy's rolling out to his left, throws it, and it's going to be picked off. And the 2-point try is no good. And we have seen kicking play a huge role in some of the games throughout this season. And you never know. That could be a big play in this ball game with 7:39 left in the third quarter. The extra point attempt, no good. And Lake leads 20-14.
We've seen it too many times this year. Games come down to 1 point, and usually it's because of an errant field goal try. So, especially with this game being back and forth as it is, that could come back to haunt them in the fourth quarter.
Let's see here. If we got any more scores coming in. No more scores coming in. Oh, there we go. Perry. As soon as I say that, Perry 14, Green nothing. Jonathan Lemon with the 4-yard touchdown run. Evan Reed takes the ensuing kickoff back 90 yards for a touchdown. Perry 14, Green 7. Trickeration touchdown for Perry. A double reverse pass from Wilson to Foster, 50 yards. Perry 21, Green 7.
Wow.
Wow. There's a lot of action going on in that game.
A lot.
Halftime, West Branch 41, Carrollton 7. I imagine that'll be a running clock in the second half. So make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts as well. Facebook, Instagram, X at Q92 Sports. We're also on Threads at Q92 Sports. And thank you for everyone who's watching on the Q92 YouTube channel. And we are live again on TikTok. The booth cam.
The booth cam, baby.
The booth cam on TikTok. So thanks to everyone who's checked in and said hello on there. If you're listening, thank you. Share it with your friends. Booth cam. See me and Tone.
What's up, baby?
Oh, I didn't even notice there was an injury on the far side of the field. That was Justin Landes, who was the holder on that play, who rolled out to his left to try the 2-point attempt after the low snap. Is walking off the field gingerly.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be okay. I wonder what the theme is with the cowboy hats tonight, with the 10-gallon hats they have on down there on the sideline.
I don't know. I always wanted a cowboy hat. I never thought I could pull it off.
Oh, you could definitely pull it off.
I have like outdoorsy hats, like safari hats kind of thing. I never had like a traditional cowboy hat.
When we won the Grey Cup in 2008 for Calgary for the parade, they gave us all like white 10-gallon hats.
Like Stetson.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it was badass.
All right. Lake leads Hoover 20-14, 7:39 left in the third quarter. Lake with the run up and the kickoff. A short kick.
Very
taken
short.
at the 21-yard line, right up the middle, running into people, getting out to the 40-yard line. That's a great return there.
Starting out the 40-yard line. That's great field position. Great field position.
Now, we've seen Hoover's offense at their best when they're able to mix in the run and the pass, and it doesn't even have to be like downfield throws. You know, Collins has 2 interceptions so far tonight. You know, find something to make him feel comfortable, a little comeback route or a quick slant, something where he's not having to force the ball downfield and kind of regain that confidence.
Yep.
So they'll go 1st and 10 from the 39. Collins in the shotgun. Crawford to his left. Back to pass is Collins. He's going to step up, has nowhere to go, and he's got to take off. It was brought down. Coming up, making the tackle was number 55. Zachary Kitsera, the junior, coming in and making the stop.
That was the coverage sack right there.
And boy, oh boy. The left defensive end for Lake looked like he was way past the neutral zone. No flag called as Hoover checks up the sidelines. Got 3 receivers to the left, single wide out to the right. Crawford to the right of Collins. They turn, fake the Collins. Here comes pressure right up the middle. And he gets him again. Back-to-back sacks. Zachary Kitsera. And it looked like he was untouched going through the middle of that line.
Untouched. He came in there looking like Zach Thomas.
That's the nose guard. Maybe a little miscommunication with the guard and center for the Hoover Vikings. And now they're setting a 3rd and 17. And they go empty. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Collins by himself. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. Here comes pressure again. He's able to get it off, but he doesn't pick up much. He'll get 1, 2, maybe 3 yards on the reception. That was Elijah Freisen with the catch and run, but it forces the punt unit out for the Hoover Vikings.
Starting out with great field position, almost to the 40-yard line, and Hoover loses yards that drive. Now they have to kick it after or punt it after a quick 3 and out. Tell you what, this Lake sideline, this Lake crowd, they're getting more and more amped up every time they make a play.
Zach Andy's on to punt for Hoover. He gets the punt away. Good punt. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Blue Streaks will take over 1st and 10 with 5:35 left in the 3rd quarter. Lake 20, Hoover 14.
Great job of that Lake defense coming out, setting the tone in this half, and really having Hoover with negative yards so far. Now Lake's got on their 2nd offensive drive this half. Let's see what they can do.
I know I'm not a coach, but I'd come out and try to get another quick hitter. Hoover's had trouble guarding those slant routes or bubble screens. I'd come right back to one of those and try to pick up a big chunk here.
Yep.
1st and 10. They send 2 receivers to the left. And they're going to turn, hand it off right up the middle, across the 35, fence it out to the 40, 45, 50. Still on his feet, down to the 45. Davis Madsen with a great run for the Blue Streaks, gets them into Hoover territory.
Great run. Creased him right up the middle. It took 3 players to get him down after he broke 2 arm tackles. Lake's offense is rolling right now.
A very patient run, too. He saw he had his offensive lineman in front of him and kind of let them re-engage, with the corner and the safety coming up and trying to make a tackle. A great job from Lake. Gets them 1st and 10 at the 45 of Hoover. They send 2 receivers to the left, single wide out right. In the pistol, turn, hand it off to Matson right up the middle. This time, Hoover says not going to happen. Coming up, Carter Lukens making a stop along with number 54, Jack Zarko, and no gain on the carry.
Yeah, Lukens has been all over the field, as you anticipate. Stark County leading tackler. And, I mean, number 11 is just a dude out there. And if he's not making a play, he's definitely closer around the ball every play. I like the way this kid plays.
And Matson was a little bit slow to get up after that play, and they substituted him out, and he was kind of like, what are you doing? Leave me in. But he does come to the sideline and catch a breather.
What are you doing?
So 2nd and 10, 2 receivers to the left, single wide out right. And they're going to run it with
Acquire, and he tries to get around to the edge, and he's not going to get there. Making a huge stop was David Tully, who sacks Alex Quire after a loss of 2, and it sets up a 3rd and 12. Both defenses have really come to play in the second half.
Definitely. And that time, I think the quarterback tried to do too much, started out running it to the left, stomped in his tracks, tried to bounce it all the way out to the right. But Hoover's defense had to beat on him, was able to get him down for a minimal loss.
So 3rd and 12, 3:46 left in the third quarter. Lake 20, Hoover 14. They send 3 receivers to the wide side left, single wide out to the right. Fire back to pass. Pump steps up, and he's going to go down again. Another sack. That was number 86. Owen Williams, along with Jack Zarko, making the stop. And Hoover now doing their due diligence on defense and forcing Lake to punt.
And that time they were to get home only rushing 4. I mean, they dropped everybody else in coverage. 4 D linemen were able to get pressure and ultimately get the sack on that big 3rd and long play. So hats off to Hoover's defense right now.
Lachlan Baker on to punt for Lake. Gets this one away. High punt, fair catch called for. The ball will bounce and take a Blue Streaks roll and be down just at the 15-yard line. And that's where Hoover will take over 1st and 10, 2:46 left in the third quarter.
Oh, let's see if we can get something rolling on offense. They haven't done much yet this half, but third time's a charm. Let's see what they can do.
Got some more scores coming in for you. Fairless pick 6, Fairless 14, Northwest 7.
Wow.
McKinley 27, Jackson 3. 25-yard touchdown pass from Hunka to Reed. Perry 21, Green 14. And it's 20-14 here. Lake with the lead. Hoover going empty backfield, and they just throw this out into the left side. Caught picking up 1 yard was Chris Carter.
Yep, trying to run a little bubble screen to the number 1 receiver on the left side, but Lake stayed home and was able to corral him and get him for a 2-yard gain. That's all.
So Collins in the shotgun. Crawford to his right. 3 receivers to the right. They play action, go to the bubble screen, trying to get into the hands of Jack Andes. Andes will have enough to pick up the first down. I would try to get him to touch the ball every single chance I could.
Every play is designed to go to him from here on out if I'm the coach. I mean, they line him up at running back. We haven't seen him in the Wildcat yet either, and that's in the back pocket too.
It is. Hoover going empty on 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the wide side left, to the short right. Checking with the sidelines is Collins. 2:09 left in the third quarter. He takes the snap, swings it out on the left side. That's Andes again. Into traffic, gets across the 30-yard line. Another 5-yard gain for Jack Andes. And, I mean, it's just like running the football through the air. You might as well keep doing it.
Yep. Just get him the ball in space, let him create and get what he can get, because most times it's going to be a lot.
And that's the thing, too, when you've got, guys who can run the football, teams who can run the football and still have skill positions. If the defense starts to pack it in, you're like, okay, we're going to go outside. And if they go outside, you start pounding right through the middle.
Exactly.
So Hoover going empty again, 2nd and 5. Collins takes the snap. He's looking, throws, and little alligator arms from the intended receiver. That was Bryson Byer. Went for the catch in traffic, kind of felt like he was going to get hit as soon as he would have caught it, and short-armed that for the incompletion.
Collins got a little happy feet that time. I think he thought the pressure was closer than what it was before he started to move around the pocket. But the pocket was pretty clean, but he actually worked himself into pressure because he got happy feet.
Empty again for Hoover, 3rd and 5. 3 receivers on the wide side of the field to the right. 2 receivers to the boundary on the left. Collins takes the snap. Here comes the pressure, steps up, throws, and that was behind his intended receiver, Andes. He was able to get a hand on it,
but knocking it away was Lake's number 47, Kyle Hammer.
Really impressed with Lake's defensive line, both interior and exterior. They're able to get pressure on North Canton and only bring 4. That time they brought 5, but it was really the defensive end, the right defensive end, getting the pressure off the jump. So Lake's defensive line's having a hell of a game so far.
So 4th and 5, punting unit on for Hoover. That's Andy's the punter, and he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken at the 31-yard line. So it seems like the last couple drives, Hoover gets the ball at the 30. They don't pick up the first. They punt it. Or Lake gets the ball at the 30. They punt it. Hoover gets it at the 30. They don't pick up a first down. They punt it back. We're playing in between the 30-yard lines right here. Neither team is able to get an offensive drive going, and all the punts are ending up right around the 30-yard line.
Yep, 30 to 30.
So 1st and 10 for the Blue Streaks. Quire in it in the shotgun. Matson lines up to his left, and Fuller goes in motion from right to left. They hand it off to Fuller on the jet sweep, and he does not get there. Great open field tackle by Carter Lukens, and Hoover will get a loss, Lake will get a loss of 1 on the play.
Lukens continues to impress me with his pursuit, with his ability to shed block, with his ability to tackle. I mean, this kid is a good old-fashioned Stark County linebacker.
So 2nd and 11 for Lake. 2 receivers to the right, single wide out to the boundary on the left, and back to pass, and they throw a little pop pass to the tight end. Pot across the 40-yard line down to the 42, picking up the first down. That was number 33 for the Blue Streaks. He is not on my pronunciation sheet. Gavin Salzwimmer. I gave it a shot. I apologize.
Hey, A for effort, brother.
But Salt Swimmer. I guess he's got a brother, Wade.
Okay. Way to high point that ball, Salt Swimmer.
There we go. Gavin Salt Swimmer. Yeah, first down for the Blue Streaks, and they hand this one off this time over the left-hand side. Gets to the 50-yard line is Matson, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with the Blue Streaks having the football. 2nd and 4, leading 20-14. 4th quarter action when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com. An official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
2nd down for the Lake Blue Streaks. They hand it off right up the middle to Davis Matson, and he will be short of the first down. He'll get back just to the line of scrimmage, and we'll set up a 3rd and 3 for Lake as 4th quarter action is underway here from Blue Streak Stadium.
Big down right here, right at the 50-yard line, 3rd and 3. Come on out in your rhino set and get this first down with ease.
Lake breaks the huddle, and they are in the big set. Matson in at the Wildcat. They run right over the right-hand side, and he is going to be short. He is going to be short by, now he moved. Let's see.
I don't know. That I call for a measurement on that one.
He is short of the line to gain. It will be 4th and a half of a yard.
Go for it.
And Matson comes to the sideline and is talking to Coach DeGeorge.
Go for it.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Probably going to take a timeout here and talk about it.
And they do take a timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Let's see if we can get some more score updates for you. Lions 35, Minerva nothing. Glen Oak 23, Mansfield 6. That's a big win for Glen Oak. They're able to pull this one off. Massillon 35, Warren Harding 10. Tryway 21, Central Catholic 0. LaSalle 28, Louisville 10. East Canton 14, Buckeye Trail 6. Canton South 21, Tuslaw 7. Salem 27, Marlington 6. Final, Mogador 33, St. Thomas Aquinas nothing. And Sandy Valley lost 49-7. Back here, and Lake is going to put the punt unit 4th and 1. They bring the punt unit back out onto the field, and Hoover's playing it like it's a fake. But the run up and the punt backwards. That took a good bounce. That ball will be down at the 19-yard line. So Hoover was just playing that safe and making sure that there wasn't a fake coming. They didn't put anyone back to return. And Lake will down it at the 19-yard line. So Hoover will take over 1st and 10. 10:32 left in the in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Past couple drives, Lake's able to move the chains, get a first down or two, but then it stalls out. Hoover's able to get the ball back at the 20-yard line. Haven't got anything going yet this half on offense. Let's see what they do in the fourth quarter.
So Hoover comes out with John Collins. To his right is Crawford, and they hand it off to Crawford up the middle. Gets across the 20 down to the 23-yard line.
Good hard first down run right there. Over the left guard, get 4 yards. That's a huge win right there on first down to free the offense.
Kyle Hammer. It's like a perfect name for a linebacker.
Perfect linebacker name.
Laying the hammer.
Right.
2nd down, Collins takes, hands off to Crawford. This time the Lake defensive front lets him get about a yard, and that's it. So they'll set up a 3rd and 5 for Hoover. Just not able to get anything going offensively in the second half.
This Lake defense is tough. They're tough in coverage. They cause, a couple coverage sacks this half because they got them buttoned up. They're not giving up anything in the run, and they really have Hoover flustered right now.
9:30 left in the ball game. 3rd and 5. Hoover goes empty. 3 receivers to the right, to the left. Collins by himself takes the snap. He's back to pass. Here comes pressure up the middle. He gets rid of it. It's caught. And picking up the first down. Almost didn't pick it up. I think that's Elijah Fryson. He caught that pass and then kind of reversed direction a little bit and almost was in danger of not picking up the first.
Yeah, but he was able to regain his balance, get his momentum going back forward, and was able to get just enough for the first. But great job by Collins getting that ball off. I mean, he had pressure. He was backing up, threw it off his back foot, was able to get it out there to him, and receiver made a play.
So Hoover now 1st and 10. They go empty again with Collins. He's back to pass. He steps up, slings it over to Fryson again, catches it at the 30. Picks up 4 yards on the play, but he could have got more if he would have just turned up field instead of trying to get to the boundary.
Yep, seen that a lot this year, guys trying to get to the edge. But if you just get north and south and you make one guy miss, you're off to the races anyway. Just take what you can get. Hey, if that guy don't get you down, you're going to the sideline with yards.
Nice pickup on first down. Sets up a 2nd 5. 8:20 left in the game. Crawford back in at the tailback position to the right of Collins. He takes play action. Collins back to pass, throws off his back foot, and it's a great defensive play. And that ball is going to be incomplete. Was that Mattson on coverage? Can't tell. Was that third? Can't see. He hasn't turned around to see who was on defense, but man, if he puts a little more air into that ball,
leads him. I mean, he has 2 steps on him. If he leads him, he's still running.
that was full radar that was onto the defense there.
Oh, full radar. That's a great defensive back, man.
It is. So 3rd and 5. Hoover goes empty. Collins takes, throws the slant. It's incomplete. Intended for Bryson Byer. Just a low pass. It kind of looks like Collins is just like 3/4 arm and everything. And when he does that, he's not nearly as accurate.
I think it's just because the Lakers did a good job getting to him this game, making him uncomfortable. That time he really had no pressure. But he, like you said, he just kind of side-armed it and wasn't able to get enough on it to get it to the wide receiver.
So Andy's on to punt for Hoover. A low snap, and this is not a great kick. And that will bounce and be downed at the 35-yard line of Hoover. Excuse me, of Lake. I don't know why I keep messing that up. But Lake will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Lake's defense continues to play lights out, and their special teams and defense continues to give Lake's offense really good field position, this time on their own 35-yard line. We got 7:54 left in the game. Let's see how much clock Lake can eat with this drive. They already have a lead, but even if they don't score points, if they can take a big chunk of time off this clock, that's a huge win in this series.
Alex Quire in at quarterback, man in motion now from right to left. They fake it to him. Hand it off to Mattson. Mattson breaks the tackle. He's across the 40, 45, down to the 48-yard line. A good first down run from the Blue Streaks.
That time they were in the lead play, getting that wing back up on the front side linebacker. Running back was able to cut off his block and get a big gain on first down, moving the change.
So 1st and 10 now at the they mark him at the 49-yard line. 7:45 remaining in the ball game. Lake leads 20-14. Two receivers to the short side right, single wide out to the wide left. Man in motion now from right to left. That's Fuller. They take, hand it off to Mattson. He bends it back across the middle. Continuing to power forward, getting to the 46-yard line. A good run on first down for Lake.
Great cutback by the running back that time. Tried to run it to the right side, got penetration, put his foot in the ground, cut back to the left. Was able to get north and south and get a good 5 yards on that play. Great vision.
Down to 7 minutes left in the ball game.
Now it's time for that big Lake offensive line to take control of this game and just make sure that they continue to drive, eat up this clock, and hopefully eventually score.
Lake breaks the huddle, sends two receivers to the left, single wide out to the right. Quire takes, hands it off to Mattson over the right-hand side, picks up a first down across the 40, down to the 38-yard line of Hoover. And Lake is just kind of controlling the line of scrimmage, and it's giving their running backs a lot of big lanes to run through.
Yep, they run a rat play that time where they take the wing, line up on the left side, and pull them around to lead up on that right side linebacker. Did a great job and were able to move the chains again.
So there's an injury on the field. Couldn't see the number of the young man who kind of got off and walked on his own. I believe it was either Gio Bianchi or Chase Lukens. Couldn't tell. It was either 8 or 9. But they quickly walked off to the field. 1st and 10 for the Blue Streaks at the 39-yard line of Hoover. Alex Quire in the pistol with Davis Mattson behind him. Man in motion now from left to right. That's Fuller. Turn, handed off. Different running back. Excuse me. That's Zach Novak in the game. This time, Novak is going to lose yards. He'll lose at least one, maybe two on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, 2nd and long, you're behind the chains right now. But if I'm Lake, approaching 5 minutes, my offensive line's been running the ball great. I'm going to still keep it on the ground.
Davis Matson back in the game at running back. They got to hurry now. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Take the snap, back to pass, throws it out to Fuller in the flat. Fuller catches it, picks up 2 yards, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10, 5:15 with the clock running left in the ballgame. Lake leads 20-14.
Yeah, that time Fuller just got what he could get. He danced a little bit, but, he didn't try to reverse field or try to bounce it. He just got north and south, was able to get a couple yards. But the most important thing, the clock is still running for Lake.
3rd and 10. 2 receivers to the wide side right, single to the left. Quire in the shotgun, Matson to his right. Quire back to pass. Now quarterback draw right up the middle, and Hoover read that like a book. Coming up and making the tackle was number 86 for the Vikings. That's Owen Williams. And decision time now for the Blue Streaks with 4th and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Great job by Hoover's defense, boning up after a couple first downs and now giving their offense a chance to score and get back in this game and tie it up and possibly even take the lead.
Baker on the punt for the Blue Streaks. And the return man for Hoover stands at the 10-yard line. Kick is going to be angled towards the sidelines, and we'll see where that one goes out of bounds at.
Great punt.
Let's watch the official at the center, see where he puts that hand down at. And they're going to mark it at the 15-yard line. So Hoover with 3:55 left in the game, trailing 20-14. We'll have to go 85 yards in order to tie this one up.
Yeah, we'll see if Collins can settle down a little bit, not allow himself to get too rattled in the pocket, and just really get back to placing the ball like we know he can. Last drive, he had one that was too high, one that was too low. But if he places on the money, these wide receivers can go.
Brian Crawford lines up to the left of Collins. They turn, hand it off to Crawford. Crawford tries to bounce it to the outside, carries the defender with him across the 20-yard line down to the 21. A good run on first down, picking up 6.
Yeah, and so far this half, a lot cleaner football. I mean, no penalties this half. First half, there was a ton on both sides, but good, clean football so far this half by both teams.
Hoover moving from left to right. They hand it off to Crawford right up the middle again. He will force his way through and fall forward close to the line of gain for first down. I thought that play was stopped at the line of scrimmage, but great effort by the junior Crawford to get within 3rd and 1.
Yeah, great job keeping your feet churning, ball security, good body lean. He had some help, too, from his teammates pushing that pile. So now in 3rd and under a 1. Let's see what Hoover comes out and does.
Crawford to the right of Collins in the shotgun. They turn, hand it off to Crawford. He's hit the backfield. A huge hit from Zach Kitzera. And they will lose 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That was the play of the game so far, but the defense. That was huge. He's had a great second half so far, number 55.
And Hoover leads the offense out onto the field.
Ooh, wow.
4th and 4, 2:25 left in the game. 3 receivers to the right. Crawford to the right of Collins. Collins back to pass. He's looking. He steps up, and it's almost intercepted and dropped. But it doesn't matter. It's a turnover on downs. Kutsera pressured Collins in the backfield and might have hit his arm when he went to throw, forcing the air pass.
That's a gutsy call right there by Hoover, deep in your own territory, 21-yard line, going for it on 4th down. Now you give Lake a great opportunity to close this game out.
And if Lake has a kid who can kick,
Right.
you just made it a 2-possession game
Right.
here because you still have your 3 timeouts left, but the field position is
already
huge.
Yeah, right. You're already in field goal range.
So here we go. 2:16 left in the game. Lake leads 20-14. It's Lake football. They hand it off right up the middle. That was Matson again. Hoover's defense holds them to a gain of 1.5, maybe 2 on the carry. It'll be second down. 2 minutes left in the ball game. At what point would you start using your timeouts here, Coach?
After this play, if they don't get a first down, I'm burning the timeout.
15 seconds left on the play clock. Lake can run the game clock all the way down to 1.5 minutes. Quire in the shotgun with Matson to his right. Excuse me. Oh, they bumble the snap, and the football's on the ground. Football's on the ground. It's Hoover football. Wow.
They still have life, folks.
A bad snap. Quire mishandled it, and it falls on the ground. Hoover with the recovery. Viking football, 1st and 10, 1:27 left in the game. They will start off at the 22-yard line.
Just when you thought Lake was about to put the nail in the coffin, Hoover gets life. Now Hoover has an opportunity to go down here and tie the game up or take the lead. Huge.
1:27 left in the ball game. Lake 20, Hoover 14. It's Hoover football, 1st and 10. Collins takes the snap. He's back to pass. Steps up, throws down the sideline, and it's almost intercepted.
Again, the receiver had to come back to the ball. If Collins lays it out there, he had a couple steps, and the safety wasn't able to come over and make the play on the ball. So, I mean, Collins just looks a little off the mark still this half, but if he can lay it up there, that's a big play for this offense.
That was more towards the sidelines.
Yep.
It would have been a catch he would have had room to run down the sidelines.
Yep.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Crawford to the right of Collins in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the wide side right. Collins back to pass. He looks, throws it over into the left flat. That is caught, and clock continues to run with 1:12 after a gain on gain of 5 on the play.
Yep. 3rd and 5.
Hoover needs to hurry up. We've got 1 minute left in the ball game. 3rd and 5.
Timeout.
They respotted the football.
Oh, okay.
So now it's 3rd and 3. Collins in the shotgun. He's back to pass. Looks, throws it over into the sidelines. That's caught again. That's Bryson. Turns it upfield, gets across the 40, all the way down to the 49-yard line. Excuse me, that was Chris Carter with the reception. 46 seconds left. Clock stops as they move the chains, and Hoover takes their first timeout of the second half. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
You talk about Federal League football, middle of October, week 9, playoff implications on the line. I mean, this is huge.
All right, so you got 46 seconds left. Obviously, you have to throw the football. How bad are you trying to get into the hands of Jack Andes?
Listen, here's what I'm thinking. We've ran a crap load of bubble. I'm running a bubble and go with Andes. Streak him down the sideline, touchdown, game over.
Extra point, though. Don't forget.
You're right. We've seen it a couple of weeks ago.
Here we go. This time they've got Crawford and Andes in the backfield, one on each side of Collins. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of Hoover. Collins back to pass. Steps up, throws it to Andes down the sidelines. Is caught. He's at the 20, 15, 10, still on his feet. Into the end zone for this. They say he stepped out of bounds.
They marked him out.
Oh, my goodness. Clock stops, 36 seconds left. Hoover has the ball They say he stepped out at the 30-yard line. So right after he caught it, they said he stepped out of bounds.
Wow. Wow. But
So they did not call a timeout there either. The clock stopped when they moved the chains. It's whistled to blow. Collins back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's looking to run. He gets across the 20. Still on his feet. Doesn't get out of bounds. Hoover has to burn a timeout. 27.7 seconds left on the clock. Hoover with the ball. 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line. We didn't get a chance to talk about the wheel route.
I was about to say the wheel. I come back to it on this side. You know, the wheel route is there, especially with Andy's coming out the backfield.
Yeah.
What linebacker is going to cover him?
That's what they've been double teaming him on the perimeter. So that's a great play call to get him on a mismatch.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he wasn't able to stay in bounds, but still it gets them down to where they can take a couple throws to the end zone if they need to. And if it comes down to, a last second trying to get it in, you're not asking your quarterback to throw it 50 yards, 60 yards.
Right.
The ball's at the 28-yard line with 28 seconds left in the ball game. Also, this timeout brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Here we go. 2nd and 8. Ball at the 28-yard line. 3 receivers on the wide side right. Single wide out to the perimeter on the left. Collins back to pass. He's looking. He's pressing. He's sacked. He's sacked at the 34-yard line. That was number 84. Angelo Wood, the defensive end, who got to Collins and brought him down. Timeout on the field by Hoover. That is their final timeout of the ball game with 22.4 seconds left, and it'll be 3rd and 14.
This Lake defensive line is having a night. Both ends, number 55 on the interior. I mean, these guys are in the quarterback's face almost every single play, and that was a huge, huge play on 2nd and long. Late in the 4th quarter, Hoover's driving, be able to come up with a big, big stop on that play, causing Hoover to burn their last timeout, and they still have to go about 35 yards to reach pay dirt.
Here we go. 22.4 seconds left. Lake leads 20-14. Hoover has the football. 3rd and 14. Collins empty by himself in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right. Collins back to pass. He steps up in the pocket, throws to the middle of the field to Andes, and it's caught. First down. Clock stops as they move the chains. Hoover's rushing to the line at the 8-yard line. Take it, spike the ball. 13.1 seconds left in the ball game. Hoover, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
Wow. That was a great play, great catch. But I tell you what, he had a wide receiver wide open in the end zone on the far left side of the field, and there was nobody around him. But you're able to move the chains, spike the ball. Now it's 2nd down and goal. Have an opportunity to take at least 2 shots to the end zone, maybe 3. But it's a huge, huge play right there to give you life for your Hoover offense.
13.1 seconds left. Collins in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's got to run. Tries to throw it away. And they call the incomplete pass. Collins was able to get rid of it as he was being sacked. If he goes down, that is the ball game.
He has to be smarter than that and understand he cannot go down.
6.8 seconds left. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Hoover breaks the huddle. They go empty. 3 receivers to the wide side right. 2 receivers to the short left. 7 seconds on the play clock. Collins takes the snap. He's got pressure coming off the backside. He gets away from it. Steps, throws, incomplete. 1.5 seconds left. This will be the final play of the game. 4th and goal. 1.5 seconds left in the ball game. Lake leads Hoover 20-14. Hoover's got one final chance to try to tie it.
What a play by Collins right there. On the right side, Lake brought pressure. Nobody touched him. Collins was able to get out of it, keep his feet alive, and get the throw off. It all comes down to this, folks. 4th down, need 9 yards, 1.5 seconds left to play. They go 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Collins by himself. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. He steps up, throws in the end zone. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. The Lake Blue Streaks hold on and beat the Hoover Vikings 20-14. What a ball game. Wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness. The receiver touched the ball. I mean, it was a good enough throw to where he maybe could have came down with it, but she had 2 defenders right there. Just couldn't hold on to it. Couldn't come down with it. Lake, great football game. What a ball game. Your final, Lake 20, Hoover 14. The Vikings go to 7-2 on the season, 3-2 in the Federal League. Lake goes to 7-2 on the season, 3-2 in the Federal League. Wow, what a ball game. We're going to step away, catch our breath, and get into some post-game action when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com. Your final, Lake 20, Hoover 14.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
Looking to brighten someone's day? Look no further than Hartville Balloon Shop. We're locally owned right here in Hartville. Let us design custom displays for your birthdays to baby showers. And yes, to those high school seniors, even graduations. We've got balloons for every occasion. Delivery all across Stark County and beyond, bringing the celebration to your door. Visit HartvilleBalloonShop.com or call 330-705-6799 today. Hartville Balloon Shop, making your event stand out.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is head coach Dan DeGeorge from the Lake Blue Streaks. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Blue Streak Stadium. Your final score, the Lake Blue Streaks 20, the North Canton Hoover Vikings 14. Coach, you know, as soon as we went to commercial, I kind of looked at you and I said, game of the year? An unbelievable finish to this ball game.
Unbelievable. I mean, back and forth. You know, you had a kick return to the house. You had 2 interceptions that led to scores. You had big offensive plays, big defensive plays, momentum shifts. I mean, this is what high school football is all about in Northeast Ohio.
So Lake and Hoover have the same record right now. They're both sitting at 7-2 on the season, 3-2 in the Federal League. Congratulations to the McKinley Bulldogs, who are sole Federal League champions this year. And this is the first year in a couple years that it's been sole, right? Hasn't there been a share?
2 years ago, McKinley was sole winner.
Okay.
But this year to go undefeated and get the sole, great job by first-year head coach Renzi Parnell, his staff, and his players. Now you got a big one. It's just Massillon week now.
It is. It starts. It's actually their score. They're still playing. It is a blowout. It's 40-9 McKinley over Jackson right now. Northwest 21, Fairless 20. Fairless is going for the 2-point conversion in overtime. That game's in overtime.
Wow.
So Fairless going for 2 to try to finish that one up. Wow, what a game there. Final Green 28, Perry 21. The Green Bulldogs still fighting for their lives to make it into the playoffs. Massillon wins 42-10 over Warren Harding. West Branch 48, Carrollton 7, Alliance 35-0. But boy, talking about this game, both teams, after a loss, you kind of want to put your head down, but that last drive for them to battle the way they did, there were a couple mistakes, but just think how big that Andy's out of bounds was to this ball game. Like it got them down there, but I mean that could have put them at the 5-yard line with 2 timeouts remaining, and
with over a minute. Yeah,
a game of inches in any given Sunday. Game of inches.
Yep.
You think about that speech in that movie, but what a game, Coach. You're not going to be with me next week.
Nope.
Not going to be with me,
brother.
But playoffs are right around the corner, and
looking forward to that.
We'll reunite in week 11.
Reunited, it feels so good.
We'll be here all night, folks. Coach is going to go down and get some interviews from Coach DeGeorge and the Lake Blue Streaks, and make sure to follow us on our social medias. Coach, I'll catch you out. Any final thoughts on this game?
No, just very impressed with both teams. Again, this is what Federal League football is all about right here.
Awesome.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X. The interviews and picture galleries will be posted up on our social medias. But what a ball game tonight. I just can't say enough. Let's see, got an update. Quarterback keeper around the end. 2-point conversion is good. Fairless 22, Northwest 21. What a game there as well. Next week, we have Jackson at Hoover, Alliance at Marlington, Tuslaw at Fairless, Lake at Green, Northwest at Akron Manchester, West Branch at Salem, Malvern at East Canton, and then on Saturday, the war of... was it 1894? McKinley and Massillon at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. We got the pregame show kicking things off at 10 o'clock in the morning from the Gridiron Gastro Pub. Sam Berkwin and myself are going to be there. We got amazing guests lined up. There's going to be a lot going on. Food at the Gastro Pub. There's going to be yard games. Encourage you guys to come down, hang out. We're looking for that game day atmosphere in the feel. So we hope to see everyone down there next Saturday. But we still got week 10 coming up. What a week 9 has been so far. It's been crazy. And thanks for everyone who joined us tonight. Let's see. I want to thank all of our sponsors helping us bring you high school football on the Q92 Sports Network, Friends and Family Credit Union, RG Drag, and of course the Charshone Auto Group for helping us bring you high school football every single week on Q92 Sports Network. Mount Union Purple Raiders tomorrow from Heidelberg. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere have that call, so tune in and check out the Purple Raiders as they look to stay undefeated on their quest for another OAC championship and a 14th national championship. That game kicks off at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon on AM 1310 WDPN and the Q92 YouTube channel. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week right here on Q92radiosports.com. For my broadcast partner, Antonio Hall, I am Ryan Keller. Stay safe, be kind, hug your loved ones. Miss you, Nick. Have a great weekend. God bless.